Welcome, everyone, to tonight's Midnight Ranting, Age of the Earth. In this episode, we talk about how old the Earth is and whether the creationists will ever provide evidence. So won't you join us for another fun night of science versus religion? We're a skeptic channel. Woohoo! But after our opening statements, we'll be opening up the floodgates. That's right.
That just means we're a reality channel. We like science and reality, things that have data and facts. Yeah.
And see, I just like to open up the floodgates of hell. But yes, that too. Meaning anyone can come join us and say what's on their mind. Woohoo! We'll also give everyone the chance to have their own opening and closing statements. Atheist or theist, liberal or conservative, come as you are. Just not on the sheets. Also, if you'd like to see your questions, comments, or thoughts read on the screen, you could do so by tagging me at Amy Newman. We also have a Discord if you have some memes, discussions, or debates on your mind. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that all button icon so you can get live reminders for our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch streams. And if you'd like to support the show, so we can create more awesome content, you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman, including awesome Patreons like K.O. Champ, and I have it this time.
Thor's Hammer, yeah.
Thor's Hammer, baby, and Oz from the Atheist Round Table.
You have a prop yet for him, or?
Yeah, I should get like a whole table, but that might be too much. Maybe get like a small table, make an atheist round table. And Ian Davenport, woohoo! Sending hearts out there, and thank you guys so very much. All right, with that being said, age of the Earth. So how old is the Earth anyway? Well, it's 4.5 billion years old. We know this from dating different rocks with overlapping metrics. Some of these being from Earth and others actually being from meteorites that fell from the sky. But what most creationists want to know is actually, how did Earth come to be? Which again is a matter of physics and not theology. Our planet comes from the accretion disk of our early solar system. It's a self-remnants of a former star which exploded its guts into orbit so that a second generation could have the heavier elements. Before that, it was just hydrogen, helium, and a little bit of lithium, all the way back before the first stars turned on, and before dark energy was pushing the universe outward. We could go back to the point when everything was stable and right before Planck time begins. To ask before this moment, though, is to ask what's before time began. And that's incoherent as far as I or anyone else can tell. So if anyone wants to fill in the blank with a god or anything else, that's going to need some amazing empirical evidence. Thank you. And okay, so how are you, James? And are you ready for some fun billions of years in the making?
Well, yeah, so hopefully everybody got a chance to catch at least part of the debate. I mean, if you've seen one of Kent's debates or if you've seen his seminar, you kind of know how his script is going to go. He's got a script that doesn't have a lot of supporting evidence. He doesn't have a lot of science to back up what he says. In fact, I think he bases most of it off of a Bronze Age compilation of writings that's been heavily edited and redacted, and it kind of tells a story that kind of conflicts with science. But don't worry, he'll explain to you how science gets it wrong every single time. And the Bronze Age book, written by the goat herders thousands of years ago, they actually got it all right. And it's us that have the problem because we just want to live our lives. We want to do what we want to do. We don't want to be slaves to God, and therefore, we respect things like science ahead of ancient old books, which is where I guess we should be getting all of our important information about reality. So shove that science off to the side, get rid of it all, and let's go back to the Bronze Age. And that's, Bronze Age geography, like the flat Earth, all sorts of fun stuff like that. But I just really want to hear what what everybody else has to say about the debate. I know there's a lot of our heavy hitters in there, so let's open it up.
Woohoo! And okay, in a second, James.
I didn't hear a lot of science in there. Did you?
No, he was actually on good behavior, but it was the same shtick. So that wasn't new. And okay, in a second, I'll send the link into chat so to queue up people so you can speak about your mind about either the debate or the topic. And while I'm doing that, I guess I'm going to ask you, James, about one of your first points, or what was something that you took away from the debate.
Well, one thing I did notice is that now Kent's an experienced debater, and he kind of lured Maddie in at the beginning with that little squabble about debating about his analogy about the stupid thing with the sunken coins. And someone like
does
Kent
that coin
Hovind,
bit a lot too,
or John Maddox, like we saw he did it with Randolph. If they can get like a good 10 to 15 minute chunk of the debate eaten up talking about semantics or the definition of this, or what does the word is mean, then that's good for them.
He's running for office.
They would really rather not talk about their lack of evidence, the lack of science for their position. But, you got to be careful with these snake oil salesmen, these very polished, very good speakers like Kent Hovind. He's a very polished snake oil salesman, He makes you feel good about it as you're handing him the money for a set of VHS tapes before you even realize, hey, I haven't owned a VCR in 15 years. Why am I buying a bunch of VHS tapes from Kent Hovind? By then, he's already got your money, and he's halfway down the block, telling you to enjoy your VHS tapes. Praise God. Yeah.
And he's been doing it for so long that, like you were saying, he's polished at his talking points, and he could do them. I think it's hard to take him off it unless I think Maddie did a great job, because every once in a while you have a creationist that's like, who would be so stupid as to do that experiment? And she was like,
yeah. Well, she did very good.
The fun.
She did good, and you can tell that she really knows her stuff. And the thing that's hard when you've got somebody like Kent is that he says so many things that are wrong, is that if you try and jump on everything that he says that's demonstrably wrong or that just doesn't make sense, I mean, you're going to be fighting about every little thing. So I think there was a lot of things he said that she just had to, I'm not even going to mess with that. It's wrong, but whatever. I'm going to go try and get him to the meat and potatoes kind of deal.
Exactly. He likes to take people down loops, though they're a different kind of loops. And in a second, we're going to open up and switch it into open mic. But I put precepts on one end Precepts don't want to talk about any kind of canon. They want to stay as far away from the religion as possible, and they just want to be like, how do we even know
Theism, yeah.
that we're here? And then Kent Hovind is over here, and I'm trying to some of the points he just made were like, I want to call it Hovinism, because every once in a while it's like it's Protestantism, and then he brings up something where it's like, dude, what the hell? You're making this up as you go along. I'll have to find it.
Well, we heard yesterday, remember his canopy theory, that Hovind theory, and that's just something that he came up with. The canopy,
that ice canopy. I was like, yo, Kent, are you turned into a flat earther on us? I was just trying to make a funny joke the other day. We'd be on that side. But
maybe it's held up by magnetism. Maybe it's air pressure. I don't know. Either way, it's up there somehow. And, she's like, well, actually, no, that wouldn't work. It wouldn't. Neither of those would hold it up. And like, okay, fine. God did it with magic. Is that what you want to hear? Yes, God did it with magic. There you go. I mean, you try to give, non-magical explanations, and they all fall apart. So, of course, you're going to whip out your magic wand there. Not that wand, Amy, the other wand, but, the other one.
Oh, my. And okay, we are going to open up the floodgates. We are midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. I know most people
still 4-point-some billion years
past middle school believe that this is settled science, but that's okay. It's always fun. We're having fun.
Still and like 4-point-something billion years, I think. Yeah.
Exactly. They always say millions, and they switch up the billions. They always go back and forth confusingly. Dinosaurs, millions of years ago, 60-something years. Earth, 4.5 with a
but
B.
If the Earth is billions, then it's still got to be millions too. It's just a higher number of millions, like thousands of millions.
Anything over 1,000, I just think what they just go is they go big numbers. How could you believe big numbers? And we're like
his shtick where he's like 6,000 is really old. I mean, 6,000 years. That's a really old Earth. I mean, think about 100 years ago. Okay, Kent. Yes, in our lifespan, 6,000 years is a long time. But out of a 14 billion year old universe, no, it's not.
That is basically just wiping out, all of our ancestors, or like the giant majority of our ancestors.
Well over
just like
99% of history.
And it's just like gone. They lived, had families and loved ones, and died. And the only reason why we were here is because they were able to pass down their genes. And then but that's kind of like a long time ago, and like my story here doesn't quite match up with that. So squishity, choppity, choppity.
You couldn't squeeze a bowling ball into a dot the size of like a period on a page. You could now Big Bang. That's one thing I have to say. I think I admire that she was willing to take him on in some of those regards, because he just comes up with these really. I guess they sound good for the young earthers and the religious fundamentalists, but for someone science, like, no, actually, it's just energy. You can get all the matter you need from energy. There you go, Kent. So you can talk about squishing whatever you want to squish, and it doesn't work.
Well, we could talk about a lot of points, because I want to talk about some of the stuff that Maddie was talking about with the energy not being destroyed, but we'll talk about that, or created, because that's the important part there. But we'll talk about that later. Flum, we are midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. How are you? And what are your thoughts about either the debate, the subject, everything in between?
Hi, Amy and James.
Hey, Flum, welcome back.
The funniest thing is, the new theory is it's two supernovae that created our solar system. That's very interesting.
That would be cool.
To me. But I have another point. That point is, your smartphone is closer in time to Alexandra of Egypt than she was to the pyramids.
That's
So
true.
that's kind of fun.
That time scale, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Well, in my opinion,
To
once
understand the
yeah,
time
go. I'm
scale,
sorry.
to understand the time scale, that's so funny to me.
I agree because I think one of the things, and thank you so much, Flum. I think it's just a very human thing that once it gets past like 10 or 20 years, we just put it in the history bucket. And it doesn't matter if it's like 40 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. And once we get into the 100,000 and the million, their brain just starts to be like, really? We have
Especially
to
if
go
it's
that
before you
far
were
back?
born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Like
can't
think before you
understand
were
it.
born.
No, but it's very fair. It's very fair. The human mind can't understand it. It's just,
I mean,
Or it's harder.
it's just.
I mean, if you
you
were born
have
in the
to-
1980s, try and think of the 40s versus the 50s. It really doesn't
Yeah.
mean much to you because you didn't even exist. So
And okay, I'm trying to think if I should start points. I guess I should get more people in because I have a bunch of points, but I want everybody to have a chance to speak on it. So thank you so much, Flum. We're moving along.
we'll get
We
some more
are
people in.
midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. Who knew it could be such a controversial subject? And who knew that the Flintstones were a documentary? An oldie but a good
Well,
one, folks. That's a
Kent's got
tip your waitress.
DVDs to sell, so
DVDs,
he's got
buy my
DVDs and
DVD.
tapes to sell. Hey,
Exactly. But Atheist Jr., how are you? And what are your thoughts about either the debate, the subject, everything in between?
he's probably got a big order from Kent Hovind's DVDs coming in any day now.
I have seen probably every piece of media that Kent Hovind has on online, but I don't have any physical DVDs. But thank you, Amy. Thank you, James. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
Welcome back. Any thoughts from the debate? Anything stick out in your mind?
Yes, I think the most important part of any Kent Hovind debate is the open discussion section. So I think Kent got embarrassed by ScienceSideUp during this debate, or Maddie.
Oh.
He seemed a little bit flustered. He tends to struggle when debating with women. I've noticed that. Maybe that's why Kent needed help from his lackeys. She proved him wrong on
looking
moon
for wife
craters.
number 4.
Yeah, well, I've heard that he's got wife number 4. That's what I heard.
Ooh,
But I have yet to confirm that. But she proved him wrong about moon craters being about the same size.
Yes,
she was
did.
she was talking about what the modern consensus was about the formation of the moon, and Kent was presenting decades-old sources and saying she had been proven wrong.
Yeah.
And she actually got Kent to admit that an ice canopy would not block UV radiation, which was surprising. I didn't expect him to actually say, oh, I might have gotten that wrong. But the ice canopy thing is so ridiculous. Like, it's easy to show why it wouldn't work.
Ramen.
It's so dumb.
The sunlight alone would melt a canopy that's only 3 fingers thick. And our atmosphere, like she said, is a gradient because of gravity. So you couldn't have water vapor below solid ice. That doesn't make sense. And ice is brittle, so a canopy that thin would shatter instead of being able to curve around the Earth. And also, the atmosphere is a fluid. It's so turbulent that it would shatter the canopy. And Kent also said that you could inflate the canopy with air because his tires are full of air.
Air pressure, yeah.
As well as inflatable buildings, but they don't make inflatable buildings out of glass, do they?
Or magnetics. Magnetics or air pressure.
His thing is with air. I don't know why. He has this thing with I wrote that down too. We'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Air and
I could go on. Water. I could go on, but I do have a special announcement to make about my channel. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this will happen yet, but I have scheduled a debate with Kent's secretary for the 30th of this month.
Oh, snap.
To debate his secretary? Who's that?
No, to debate Kent.
Oh, okay.
I
All
I
right.
called.
Well,
Yeah, I called in and I talked to the secretary, and she scheduled me for the 30th. So I
would it
know
be on
that
your
this
channel?
debate, it'd probably be on like James's channel or
A
Kent's.
modern day
I'm
debate.
not sure yet. Yeah,
It'd probably be on that. Hey,
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Hunt.
I'm looking forward to it. I know that
Looking forward
this debate
to
got
it. It'll
canceled
be great.
yesterday, so I'm hoping that this happens. But yeah, that's about all.
Woohoo! All right. Well, thank you so very much, Atheist Junior. And in fact, if I can make a comment off that, I think women could be especially useful in the atheist community. And you say women, it could be that women intimidate him. I think that could be one aspect. I think another aspect is that I think that she just has, and sometimes I feel, hopefully I have that same, it's like a second grade teacher kind of thing. Like, it's just like, we're here to teach the science, and you're so excited. And you're like, I'm not even debating it. I'm just telling you what the science is. And then you have Kent that's like, no, excuse me. And she's like, oh, no, excuse me. But actually,
Little
we have
Kenty.
the thing here and here and here. And so she gives, in my opinion, an emotionally satisfying argument, because she doesn't even take the insults. So I think she doesn't. It's harder to, I think, start the insults in that category. We'll just say, because you don't want to insult.
Yeah, I got
right
that.
out
I got
the
that
gate.
vibe. The school teacher thing. I did get that coming through.
And so I think it's just, she's very effective, because it's almost like she's not even here to debate. She's not going to slam on him because she knows what the answer is. She's here to explain what the science is, and Kent is here to basically, I don't know, throw his hands up.
My book.
It's not going to present his own model.
My book. It's in my book. God made it.
Like,
AI or
oh no, this
Jared,
was proven wrong 15 years ago.
Yeah, the whole accretion disk, he said, was proven wrong. The formation of the moon was proven wrong. No, Kent, they're still teaching it because that's still science.
Well, I actually learned some stuff in the debate. I didn't know that when the moon formed in space that it was originally like molten rock. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
She said when it got knocked off of the Earth originally.
It would have had to, so
it was another planet banging into the Earth, and then a lot of things went out into orbit, and then that formed the moon. And now we can see inside the Earth there's still parts of the other planet. That's
whatever
the genius
it was that hit
part.
us, yeah.
Yeah, that's the genius part. We can still see it. So we know it happened. It's not guess work. It's not something we're making up. We can actually see it inside our own Earth.
And apparently beavers never stop growing.
That's one thing I
They
heard.
can get 8 feet tall. I know.
I know that it is my sick mind. Hopefully it was the sick minds of everyone else. But just that whole conversation about 8-foot beavers, I just lost it. I just could not hold it
I'm right
back.
there with you, Amy, so don't feel bad.
No, but Atheist Junior, on a somewhat serious note, because you've got your thing on your channel about him talking about kicking dogs, but then he's like, we got beavers that we like to go shoot down into.
I noticed that.
You hear that? And this
Yeah,
this guy's a convicted felon. He's not supposed to be anywhere near any firearms.
But
so,
see,
yeah.
This makes me imagine like a scenario in which the beavers are actually ganging up on Kent. Like, it is now a war of Kent versus the beavers.
And the beavers
I would just imagine them just
the
redirecting.
beavers would win. The beavers would win. They dam him in.
And yeah, they could redirect the flow of a river to drown his house.
Yeah.
The water. Here, have some water, Kent.
Some water.
Oh, my DVDs got wet.
No, not my DVDs.
Kent would lose.
It's just like Noah's flood. I feel like Noah now.
Exactly. Hopefully, like
No,
Ken
I-
Ham, you get some flood insurance.
Pull an
I
arc
think-
out of
I think
DVDs.
I think the thing is, I don't think Kent is very comfortable having a woman teach him or instruct him on anything. I think he thinks to himself, my mom is the only woman I've ever had to listen to after that.
Well, it's not biblical.
I think that's just how he kind of is. He doesn't feel like he needs to explain himself or anything to a woman. The woman is supposed to sit down and listen to him explain things. Poor God.
That's It'll work eventually. He'll get there. One of them. Anyway, Soldier of Science, we are midnight ranting on Age of the Earth. Once again, who knew it was
Beavers,
so much
Kent Hovind.
controversial. I feel like it's a very controversial subject in any middle school debate. So I feel like we're really starting to get to the answers tonight. How are you? And what are your thoughts about the debate or the subject or beavers?
Oh, Amy, thank you. Thank you, first of all. This is the first.
Oh, but see, he was so thankful that it
Did he,
actually
My opening statement
went
last time.
transcendent.
Oh, wait, what happened? Okay, wait.
But
Okay,
I heard.
still there.
Oh, you're
Still
back.
there. Okay, still there. So I have to tag on to the beaver argument. I think the reason that Kent doesn't like beavers is because if you go out in the woods and you see a beaver dam, you don't really know if it's a dam or if it's designed, right? Is a beaver dam designed, or is that just like sticks piled up from the river? And this is really confusing to Kent, you know. He thinks it could just be sticks that just piled up from the river, but then come to find out it was designed by a damn beaver. And this is confusing to
God?
Kent. No, not by God. And this is why he wants to kill beavers. He's really frustrated that the beavers has messed up his whole design theory, you know?
They're
It's
messing
not
with God.
They're messing with God.
With God's plan.
That is what I'm saying. So to add on to that, I think the argument and even debate against creationists is similar to debates against flat Earth. And to me, as someone who was a former Christian, now atheist, I think the most phenomenal thing is that we are at a point where technology meets idiocracy. It's amazing. I mean, 100 years from now, people will literally go, look, these people had computers and they could look up stuff and they still believe in a 6,000-year-old Earth. Just going back to the debate, I think it would have been really cool if someone had, and I don't recall if they did, but it would have been great if someone had mentioned that Noah was just ripped off from the Sumerian Epic of Gilgamesh. I mean, that would have been great to have mentioned.
The Enuma Elish.
What?
The Enuma Elish.
The Anomalies, yes. And I think it would have been great if someone mentioned the scientific impossibility that we live in a system that only has so many H2O molecules in the entire system. We only have so much, right? I mean, so the fact of a flood that is going to be greater than the tallest mountain on the planet is just a physical impossibility because we just simply don't have that much water molecules inside of the system.
The funny thing is that they say the highest mountains came after the flood.
So I've heard both. I've heard both of those things. I mean, you know, you get someone like Darth Dawkins who is like, no, this water pressed things down. And then you get people that say, no, actually the water came out of the inside of the earth. But still, in all of those arguments, the water still has to go somewhere after that.
Yeah, you can't have that much water.
Came out of the
Dawkins
inside
is
of the
just the
earth
worst.
and then
It's
shot
impossible.
craters onto the moon.
It's
Yeah.
impossible.
So to me, I guess my point is, I think we live in an amazing time where we entertain people on the internet, And those people still have a certain amount of followers who think there's some amount of logic in their arguments. They're smart people. They're very smart people. They're typically people that are so fixated on their belief that they have no choice but to stay in that belief, because maybe they make money off it, like Kent, and any pastor, anybody who's spent time in their life that is focused on this. I really honestly think a lot of these guys, they came to a point in their life, they're like, you know what, this is pretty much bullshit, but I've spent like 30
already
years
put so
now.
much into it. What am I going to do now?
Yeah, what am I going to do now?
You want to just admit I was wrong?
Yep.
Yeah, it actually is an interesting point too. And thank you so much, Soldier of Science. You wonder how far invested is someone that if they even wanted to pull themselves out, could they?
Well, that's like Mark Sargent,
on the flat Earth.
Kirk Dawkins is just the worst.
Well, this is just an offset, but on a scale from 0% to 100% super serial, how super serial do you think Nathan Thompson and Alex Stein are? Like, are they cartoon characters that have just come to life, or because I'm 50-50 on either?
No. Nathan Thompson is definitely.
It's 100%.
He's a believer in what he believes. He absolutely does not have the ability to come up with the proposition of what will get him out of that belief. He is not one of those people. There are definitely apologists. There are definitely pastors. There are definitely people that can come up with at least one thing that gives them a crack in the armor, or what will get him out of that belief. Nathan Thompson is not that person at all.
He just seems way too passionate to me to be kidding, like Nathan Thompson does. He seems way too
he's
emotional about this to be not serious about it.
He's apparently going on his I call it all around the globe tour, which he's going around all these states trying to, I don't know, preach flatness.
Flat Earthers traveling all around the globe.
You know what I don't get? I don't get why 50 flat earthers just don't get together, put in a bunch of money, and buy their own damn Foucault pendulum. Like, build your own pendulum. You can easily disprove that the Earth is not spinning by building your own simple pendulum. It is not too hard to understand the concept of a spinning pendulum. It's the most simple concept in the world. Let alone calling someone in Australia and asking them to measure the size of a shadow that's different from the shadow that you're currently at. I won't even get into that. Build a Foucault pendulum. Simple. Prove the Earth is not spinning. Simple.
I agree
Netflix
with
documentary. They spent $20,000 to buy a gyroscope or something like that.
Yeah.
And he couldn't.
And it's a really complex gyroscope.
Why it gave the results that showed that the Earth was not flat.
It was 15 degrees per hour
adrift,
which measures to 360 degrees. So it's round.
Like any surveyor's tool is going to show the same thing.
And that the Earth is spinning also, because they think that the Earth's not spinning, I guess, some of them.
Right. And so I'm going to take it up one more step. I'm going to tie it back to religion, and then I'm going to get Bird in here. Both of the things you just said is how you would prove it to other people, is how you prove it scientifically. But if you just want to prove it to yourself, I asked, either it was Nathan or whatever in the last Flat Earth debate, I sent him a question. I was basically like, I get it. There's drone laws, blah, 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 blah. We all break the speed limit. So let's just put the laws aside for a second. Why can't someone break drone laws or just buy a frickin', a rocket ship, whatever you want to construct? Isn't there enough flat earthers out there to pool your money together and just shoot one of you? Like, all right, guys, we nominated Bob.
They did. That guy died, remember?
Yeah, they tried that.
Sorry. That is terrible. First of
In
all, I'm
Texas.
sorry. He is a mom and a dad, and probably
Sorry,
children.
I apologize. But yeah, that guy that tried that using a rocket, he died. And
First,
go ahead.
so I don't want them to die. I don't want them to
Me
die.
neither.
That's terrible. Put your money where your mouth is and construct something good enough so you could shoot yourself and get back results. That is actually the other part. That's why they spend
So
so
you can
much
shoot yourself?
money. Is so that it's actually not a one-sided journey. That is the point of the either rocket ship or spaceship. It's going to be a rocket ship. You can't afford a spaceship. So the rocket ship needs to get you back up and down. Ask Elon about that. That's kind of his thing. He has kind of like he's been like kind of screaming that into a void for the past few years. But
Space? The space is fake.
Amy, what that means is we should all put in a petition for Mark Sargent to be one of those private people who get put up into the ISS with that private company that's or that
I know
that Chinese guy that's like going to give like, you know, a private person.
the FBI gave me all the LSD. It's the LSD, the FBI. Okay. And I'll tie it back around so I can get Bird back in here. I think flat Earth underpinning it all. And the theists hate me for this because they're like, don't try to tie them. But it's theology. They never bring it up. They never bring it up in the debate unless you tickle it out of them or you push it out of them. And then it's almost like a wound coming off. They're almost like, oh, yeah. I mean, we've been talking about all the science, but of course this debate is because all you heathens don't believe in God. I mean, right? And we're like, what? I thought it was science and
there's not too many flat earthers who also don't believe in God. So I mean that's a true point. And also to your point about drones, this is amazing to me because I was one of those kids that when I was a kid, I loved remote control cars, I loved remote control helicopters, and if you flew remote control helicopters when I was a kid, it was super difficult. Like you would have to get a computer program, you'd have to figure it out. Once drones came out, because there are satellites in the air that are controlling these drones, they keep the drones in a fixed position. And that wasn't even capable until there was satellite capability for drones. And what is the most amazing thing is all these flat earthers are like, no, it's NASA. You know, it's totally NASA. What they don't realize is the GPS in your phones, the drones by DJI, the drones by most Chinese companies are a Russian GLONASS satellite system. GLONASS, look it up, GLONASS. It's a Russian satellite system that is putting GPS into most of these drones. It has nothing to do with NASA. We didn't have this capability before there was drones. Go ahead.
I have to point out that we learned in the last debate that GPS is not global positioning, it's ground positioning. Nathan Thompson informed us that it's towers, it's not satellites, it's all towers.
That's so false. That's so false.
Totally.
I was a soldier in.
There's no such thing as a satellite because there's no such
I
thing as
was
space.
a soldier in 1995.
Well, you're in on the payroll too, like Amy.
Yeah.
And,
but this was
NASA shills.
when GPS was very inaccurate, and we shot cannons, very big cannons, and we had to set the GPS on the ground, and we had to wait for like half an hour until the satellite passed us so we could get the signal. Yeah, but that's not GPS these days. These days there are like thousands of satellites.
Right.
But back in my day, it was like 3 satellites. And
we'll have Bird in here shortly.
Yep.
You had to wait for half an hour until the satellite passed over you, so it could get a signal.
Yeah, they don't like satellites.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, your DJI drone, your modern DJI drone at any given time will have between 15 to 22 satellites tracking it. 15 to 22, and you can actually see it when you fly the drone. You can see how many satellites are linked on it at any given time to tell what that is locking in position. Even what's more hilarious about the ground positioning, I live on a 40-foot boat in Ventura, California, and yeah, so when I go out into the ocean, to be able to get any kind of TV, I don't have
on the water.
Out on the water. I do not. I do not have a fixed satellite. It's a dish. It's a special dish that is created for a boat that is moving at different positions in the ocean. It is a completely separate dish. It's a dish that costs between like $7,000 to $10,000 on a boat to be able to get any kind of TV out in the ocean. If there was ground positioning and the earth was flat, I would just use that same damn dish that you guys use in a house. It'd be the same one.
Exactly.
No reason to charge me 10 grand because my boat moves like this in all different kinds of positions and has to fix on satellites while the boat is moving. It's ridiculous.
And thank you so much, Soldier of Science. We're going to go back into open conversation in a second, but we're actually going to bring in Bird. We have been midnight ranting on Age of the Earth. How are you? And what are your thoughts about the debate, the subject, SpongeBob?
Yeah, so I'm here. I'm a Kent Hovind ally now. I think all of y'all are wrong. His science is sound. It all makes sense. The Bible is true. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yep. It all makes sense.
Well, makes sense.
He really brought lots of evidence and really supported his argument very well.
So does he.
Wait, Bird, can I ask? Was it the trees? Did you look at the trees and you were just like...
Yeah. I would say it's more of the water. Just go look at water, and you can see that it's God. The Bible says it, so it must be true.
That's a fact.
You see the water in the glass, you drink the water, and then you pee the water out in the toilet, and then it flushes like God.
That's right. It's all true. It has to be true.
You know what? This is epiphany because Bird's name is Bird, and we know that when Noah was searching for land as the water was receding, what did he do? Right? He threw out like what was it? A dove, right?
Dove. It was a white dove.
It was a turtle dove.
No.
It was a white dove. Wrong. Don't you say different. It's a white dove.
It was a white dove. Come on.
You're wrong.
You'll go to hell. You'll go to hell.
Let me finish this proposition here.
The white dove.
You know, it was a white dove, and here's what I'm kind of worried about during this whole thing. If God was like talking to Noah and telling him how to build this ark and what to do, why the hell did God stop talking to him to the point that Noah needed to throw out a bird just to find out the water receded?
Well, that's easily explained. Obviously, it's because you don't understand because you don't know God. That's the answer.
Okay, well, I heard Jim Majors.
God was like taking a break. He was taking a break from speaking to Noah at that point.
That's it.
One minute he's wrestling with Jacob, the next minute Joseph's getting dumped into a pit and sold into slavery. It's crazy. But
that's your opinion. Not what the Bible says.
I got it. I mean, fair enough. But at least we know Bird is not a flat earther, judging by all.
I am a flat earther, actually. So don't you dare.
You have all those ships in the background. How do you? I mean,
they fly through a flat plane.
How do you construct those beautiful ships, those model ships?
Well, those are Lego. Those aren't real ships.
Oh man,
those don't even float.
You don't even get the concept of ships going over.
Yeah, but if you zoom in on it, I use the P900. If you zoom in, the horizon goes above again. See, it's that easy. You just don't understand.
with your fisheye lenses.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep.
Bird has a sound argument there. I can't get beyond that.
Thank you. I accept your concession. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yep.
Fair enough.
You know, it's important to have opposing views in here.
I agree.
I'm having opposing views.
I concur.
I was gonna
That's
say,
why
I was-
off the
I was,
coast of Florida, I can take a telescope and I can zoom in and I can see the coast of Africa or Europe.
I've done it.
Right
I've done it
outside,
several times. Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yep. Actually, I was standing in Pensacola and did it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, no. Hundreds of miles, a curve. Nope.
No, there is no curve. You can see straight across. You can see straight to Cape Town. No problem.
Flat
Okay.
as a pancake.
Yep.
But can you see his next wife?
Ooh, that's a good one. See, now that's not science. I'm not going to make a
I
judgment on
love you, Kent. Come on our show. But well, don't not that hard. But you know what I mean.
Not that bad.
That won't happen.
Hopefully he'll get to talk to Atheist Junior. That would be amazing if that actually
snap.
happens.
It'll
Yes,
be
yes,
amazing.
that. That debate's going to be interesting because he will wax that ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Which is a bad thing, right?
yeah.
No, that's a good thing.
I mean,
It's a good thing.
Kent's going to destroy Atheist Junior with science.
that's true.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh,
The Earth
no.
is only 6,000 years old. Y'all are so wrong. I wish I could tell you, but that's the truth.
I mean, what I would have to ask you, Bird,
Sure.
as well as Kent Hovind, is if you can't trust modern science, right? We
I
can't.
don't trust
right?
any of it. It's all fake.
Right.
Yep.
You cannot trust modern politicians. No.
Correct.
Right.
No.
Except for Trump.
Even these liberal
Trump
teachers,
is still our president, by the way. Go ahead.
these liberal teachers that are being brought up to teach our children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't
It's a
trust.
disgrace.
Cannot trust any of them. Why would you trust dudes who canonize the Bible in Rome? Why would you trust that government? Why would
Wait,
you
Bert,
trust?
before
Why
you
would-
answer
why,
that
why
question,
would you trust it? Why would you trust the Constantine Roman Emperor's government to canonize books of texts for you to come up with a belief?
President Trump.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Bird,
Yeah.
before you answer that question, I think I know what the solution is.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Did you buy his DVD?
Actually, I have all of them.
No.
Actually. You know I do.
Have all of them.
I have all 9 series, yes.
But we don't know.
9 series.
Oh, no, we definitely know because the Bible says so. So it's true. So you lose. That's it.
I mean, no, you didn't answer the question.
It doesn't exist,
sorry.
folks.
You
Ask
agreed
your
with the
question
fact.
again.
You agreed with the fact that you don't trust modern scholars, modern
Correct.
teachers, modern politicians,
Correct.
but for some reason you would agree with the people who canonize the Bible in Rome. You, in other words, put faith in that government.
Nobody
Yep.
can do that like me.
So you think that a government thousands of years ago has more validity than any government politician or teacher today.
Yeah, it just makes sense. What do you mean? It's so simple.
Fair enough. I can't argue against that.
Okay.
Can you name all of his seminars? Because I can.
You can, so you're a fan as well, right?
Yeah. Okay. It's.
Oh,
Age
I'm not
of the
sure
Earth,
if we can read
Garden of
erotica
Eden.
on these streams, but okay. Go.
Then the fourth one is Lies in the Textbooks, and the fifth one is Dangers of Evolution. The sixth one is 6th and 7th are Question and Answer.
Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite too.
Yeah, and
Doesn't
I've
he
seen
do
all of
one
them.
just about supposed contradictions in the Bible, and he tells you how they're all not real?
That's part of the Q&A. It
Yeah,
has
that's
a bunch of different
6 and 7.
sections.
Yeah.
It's like 6 hours long.
In
You
the
know, Amy,
Bible?
some people think they are there, but Ken Hovind will explain to you how that no, it's us. It's us. We're trying to make the Bible contradict, but by itself, no.
Yeah.
I missed one that was like Dinosaurs and Man, I think it's called. But
Yeah, we live together with dinosaurs. That's easily proven.
Easily. I mean,
So
Easily,
easy.
I mean, like lizards are still alive, right? Look at alligators. Hello.
Right.
Come on.
And dinosaurs were just big lizards that lived in the Garden of Eden.
Oh
right.
my lordy, that was funny.
And they were
Someone was
cold-blooded.
saying He believes that dinosaurs
the,
still live, right?
the alligators thing wasn't fun.
There might be some somewhere out there in the.
He says,
250
I think he's
million
agnostic
years
on it.
old, and dinosaurs are only like some.
There could be. I don't know.
years
Come on,
old.
how many witnesses have there been to the Loch Ness Monster? Hello? Come on, that's a brontosaurus. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, it's not a brontosaurus. It's something close, but not exactly.
Okay.
Plesiosaur.
Brontosaurus can't swim.
It would be. I think plesiosaur would be the term.
Okay.
And his name is Frank. Excuse me. Don't go. No.
Is that
Don't go
Some
there.
people say that a
Jesse?
plesiosaur is not a dinosaur, but all the children's books about dinosaurs mention plesiosaurs. So there.
Okay.
That's his argument.
So they're atheist. Okay. We are midnight ranting on the age of the earth. Mark.
Dinosaurs, beavers, not those kind.
Apparently. Or are we? Which way you take that is all yours in the Choose Your Own Adventure Creation Park. So, Mark, we are midnight ranting on the age of the earth. How are you, and what are your thoughts about the debate, the subject, a little bit of both?
Thanks, Amy. I'm fantastic. Thank
Good
you.
to
And
see
I
you,
hope
Mark.
everyone's doing well. Yeah, good to see you, James. Actually, I'm disappointed with a lot of you, to be honest with you. 100% disappointed. I can't believe that we're talking about beavers on Kent Hovind's religious property and no one mentioned goddamn. Like, how is that even possible? Come on. Yeah, so I don't know. I got like just I think the argument from incredulity really springs to mind. I don't think anyone's mentioned it yet, but holy crap, there was a lot of personal incredulity coming up in this debate, which was great, handled by Maddie really well, just, explaining how it happens. And that incredulity seems like just a ridiculous position. If you're explaining the actual system and process, then you're like, well, I can't believe it, is then just a really ridiculously empty statement. I loved the debate, and I really enjoyed Maddie's. I don't know, it was a very, very good way to address it, but some of the stuff, man, was just laughable. And I noticed that they missed a question off the end. Someone asked about koalas, which, to be honest with you,
It was amazing.
there was a later one that James didn't read out. That was a question of how did koalas get to Australia? Because kangaroos, you can say there was a land bridge, but koalas exclusively feed on like 4 different species of eucalypts. And I don't know if you know this, but not a lot of eucalypts are growing in the Middle East, Asia and Indochina kind of thing. Not a lot of them around. So that was a really good question that I was kind of really disappointed James missed it off the end there. It was a super chat.
I will say
they're pressed for time because Kent, he's always in a big hurry to get off of there.
Yeah, that is true. What I was going to basically say is that Kent is one of those people that pushes it. He nudges it faster towards the Q&A section, and he pushes it faster towards finishing the Q&A section. And so the debates end up very short, but he has a little bit of name credibility, and so James doesn't want to teeter. It's not even, I think, a Christian or a non-Christian thing.
I don't blame that, James. I'm just disappointed.
The one time, because the one time then Kent got offended by something, and he wouldn't come back for like another year. He just would not come back on the channel at all.
Well, that's the other thing. They're prima donnas, so it's not like James is doing it. Otherwise, or what's the correct way to say it? He's cautiously doing it because he knows that Kent will rage quit or we're getting some disconnection here. Oh God, my Kent guy says we got to go. It's like, okay, I guess we have to end the stream.
I would love to answer all those tough questions, but bye.
You made a point. I'm trying to can't get to manage. One of the weird things was the Grand Canyon That's an adjacent point. He said the Grand Canyon happened in a week, and I was like, what?
That's a
That
great
is-
point.
He said
Great
before,
point.
like in 2 hours.
Yeah,
It was
because
a little less than a week. Yeah.
I mean, he believes it's because of the runoff of the flood that
right.
created that
And
erosion.
the pressure inward and outward,
Yep.
and the speed at 900 miles an hour.
Right.
I mean, it's math. Duh.
On the Grand Canyon, you have a layer that's laid by water under the Aeolian sandstone, and the
Yeah.
Aeolian sandstone is laid down by wind. So that's why it's called Aeolian. And then you have
It can
another layer on
only
top
be
of that was
water.
laid down by water.
They don't believe in modern. They don't believe in that, though. I mean,
So I don't know
have
how you can
seen
have
it?
all of that
Have
in
you
a
personally
week.
seen it?
I've seen
Yes.
pictures of it.
I mean, but have you gone down to see it with your own eyes?
No.
Because we only believe stuff that we can observe, not just stuff in a book.
Well, I
Besides the
think
Bible.
that's a
Damn
double
it.
standard because they keep saying like,
Yeah,
Ken
you walked
almost
right
went-
into that one, Bird.
I
Ken
know, I
almost
was
went to
trying.
like, have you ever seen a dog? You know, a non-dog from a dog. It's, some of his reactions are just like knee-jerk kind of.
give birth to a dog?
Right. But the thing
Yeah.
is, like, have you ever seen a god create a dolphin? Is the obvious response? It's a double standard.
Can I speak about that? Add the kangaroos part. He was asked what kind kangaroos were, and his I'm paraphrasing his
kangaroo
response
kind.
were the kangaroo kind. And I guess you could say a land bridge.
So
but
awesome.
He was basically asked, how did the kangaroos get there? And he said they hopped.
They hopped, yeah.
So I was like,
what's
kangaroos
That's
hop
one of his-
across
his-
the
what's,
ocean.
what's, what's what's great and not great about that answer is well first of all, he said like the ocean was lower at that point, so it's
That's
really
right.
it was really
It was lower
what
right after a
what do you
flood.
say like from what country to Australia? It was super shallow. I can't really.
Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia.
Indonesia.
That's right. That's right.
It's
It
like
was-
30 foot deep across.
Yeah, right. Super shallow, and but
Super shallow.
super shallow,
So
and yet
awesome.
and yet you don't find any fossil or dead kangaroo in between any other place on the planet and Australia. For some just really weird reason, there's no
don't
dead
fossilize.
animals. They don't fossilize. No,
Ken wasn't out
Like
there.
bears
It's
Just
don't
that there's no
fossilize?
marsupial at all. There's no marsupial anywhere else in the world. No
Right,
fossil of a marsupial anywhere
Right.
else. In the
Well,
world.
Use the
there
word.
no, you're wrong. There are marsupials in
Oh, what
You
marsupials?
just
I
use
guess
the
they
in
had
word.
South America. There are
Yeah.
Oh,
there
really?
is
I did not know that.
single marsupial in
But I don't
South
think he knew what a
America.
marsupial was. That's
No.
my main point.
He said kangaroo, the kangaroo
Kangaroo
kind.
kind. You wouldn't
says
say
that-
they're
They are
marsupial.
not.
The
They
He
are
says that
not
tigers and
kangaroo, they
kangaroos
are-
left the ark, and that the
they are
kangaroos were
close
less
to-
aggressive than the tigers. So the tigers kind of chased them
Yeah,
to the edge of the migration.
Yes,
But
yeah.
like, Kent, have you ever seen a kangaroo? They're ripped. They're
Yeah.
huge, and they are aggressive. Have you seen the video of the guy punching a kangaroo in the face?
Yeah, I'd fuck a kangaroo up. I know
I'd
that.
like to see
I don't know.
Ken get
I would.
get.
Look at that.
I'd like to see Ken
glad
get
you
his ass
added
kicked by a kangaroo.
But has anyone seen that video?
Yeah.
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 Have you guys ever actually like been face to face with a kangaroo?
Yeah,
Oh,
I fucked
absolutely
them
not.
up.
I don't want to.
That's what happened. I got
No.
video of it.
no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
like, fuck them up is not something that,
Got a
that
video of
actually
it.
happens to a full grown.
Yeah,
Video.
Yeah, okay.
they have power. They have powerful legs. They're gonna jump. They're gonna like high kick jump you to the dome before
Well,
you.
no,
Right.
they lean on their tails and then kick with their legs.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, they could kill
I'd
you.
like to see Ken. Ken would get killed by a cassowary, a fucking bird.
And
So awesome.
the other point that he
Ken
wanted
with a
to bring up,
cassowary.
and I'll save this, and then I'll bring in Bible Burner. Woohoo!
What up,
Is
dude?
going back to incredulity. Is he really don't? When we were talking about the Big Bang, he really went to I can't imagine it. I can't
Yeah.
imagine it.
Yeah.
And his example of I can't imagine it was he's like it's a bowling ball going through a pinhole.
Yeah.
It's like
I love China.
And so it's like, Kent, I don't know. Take a while. Smoke
We
some
killed
ganja,
Bird.
go meditate.
We killed him.
I don't know what you need,
I
but
mean,
go think about it a little bit more. I don't know.
I
That
mean-
doesn't seem like an argument.
It doesn't make a lot of sense that you could imagine a God making the universe like exactly what it looks like now versus a God creating it out of nothing or out of like the most minuscule thing in the world. I mean, to me, those propositions are equal, right? Like I can do magic from here and make it the universe, or I could just make the universe the way it looks now. I don't even see that why that's an argument for.
See, they never make the leap. They never say, they're like, you don't have an answer. And when we go, well, that's the point, and neither do you, they go, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Where did God come from? You can't ask where God came from. Why not?
It's illegal. It's an illegal question.
Getting back to the kangaroo though is a king
As we always do.
Is a king. I have to know this. I have to know this.
Kangaroo full circle.
Is a kangaroo? Is a kangaroo a clean animal or an unclean animal? So go ahead.
They don't have no moose knuckles. They're clean.
Oh, they're clean. Oh,
very clean. Very clean.
So there was like 7 of them on the ark. There were 7 of them on the ark instead of just 2.
Yep, that's right.
Got it. So that's why there's plenty of kangaroos. There were 7 of them. They were all hopping on each other across the shallow
7
Indonesian
pairs.
plain. Yeah,
Now you're just being silly. Now you're
7
being
pairs, because they had to have a boy and a girl kangaroo because they're monogamous.
I thought kangaroos did chew cud.
I thought
I
that
don't
they
think
worked
one
it
in a
out
blue
back
one.
steakhouse, but apparently I was wrong.
What the fuck?
They say it comes from surprise, right? Okay.
Oh my God, y'all have touched my pickle bone is hit. I'm telling you.
Bringing us back
Blame
on
Kent.
subject.
Blame Kent.
Back to kangaroos.
Bye, my neighbor day. I just love that because he really just didn't have it. He didn't have an answer, and
No.
I am so torn on whether he wants to be a comedian or a preacher.
Oh,
Like,
I was
Kent is
laughing the
so
entire
torn
time.
himself.
he was like, whoa, I was going up to the fucking kangaroo and I was going to stick my wee thumb up his asshole to find out if he was actually clean or not. And I couldn't really find out if he was clean just by sticking my thumb up his asshole. So I had to measure him out with me measuring tape. And he was like 6 feet fucking long. And I realized at that point, he was like as tall as me and he must be clean. There we go.
But
There
Kent,
we go.
did he
Steve.
have a 15-foot
Careful.
penis? How long is his penis, Kent? Kent?
That's one of once again. If you just think we're being dirty for the hell of it, you're
We
right.
are.
But besides that, thank you for your But besides that, they also do it to themselves. Okay.
The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Kangaroos work it out backstage.
Did you know the wee kangaroo's got a little fucking animal in its pouch and you can't even see it, and then it crawls up through the pouch and then eventually it gets bigger, and then that way you know it's like a special fucking animal that had to be presented on the ark and saved and therefore transported to this island that we now know as Australia, and it happened
Now
beautifully.
you sound like Ray Comfort. Now you're going full on.
Yeah, I was going to say these are
Steve
some of
Irwin.
the worst fucking Australian accents I've ever heard in my life.
Everyone else who says that.
So we are going to take as many bananas as we can imaginably fit into our hand and then turn it over to apparently Bible Burner. Oh, that transition.
Oh,
as
nice.
smooth as butter, baby. We are midnight ranting on the age of the earth. How are you? What are your thoughts on the debate
Save us,
or
Bible.
the
Save us.
topic or apparently kangaroos?
Man, I'm loving the kangaroo
Save us.
conversation. I'm loving it. I did see the video with the kangaroo. The kangaroo grabs up the guy's dog, and I guess he threatens. It's a threat to the dog. He's going to kill the dog. The owner's not having it. He runs over. Kangaroo lets the dog go. the owner squares up with them, and the damn kangaroo, it's like the same fucking height as this guy, and he's big and he's fucking pumped, this kangaroo, right?
Kangaroo is pumped.
Squares up, and wham, he clocks this kangaroo, and the kangaroo takes it, and then just sort of looks at him, and then just sort of gave up and hopped away, man. It was
beautiful.
It was beautiful. It's a great video.
It's a great video.
As for the debate,
Amen.
unfortunately, I didn't watch the debate. I can't watch Kent Hovind.
Didn't need to.
You've seen it before.
I'm a bad person. I'm intolerant, impatient, but I'm sorry. I mean, I don't.
But enough about your complaints about Kent Hovind. No, I'm here all night.
I don't wish any ill will on the man. I just can't stand his voice and his face and his smugness, and I can't. I just can't. I wanted to watch it, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I think Maddie knocked some of the arrogance out of him this debate, to be honest with you.
Damn sure did. She did amazing. Amazing.
I wonder if he really believes the stuff that he's saying. I almost can't believe that he believes
He does.
He has
to.
I think he does.
Yeah.
When you have that many yes men around you telling you what you say is right, you start to believe it. And he's so arrogant, he won't fix any of his mistakes. So that means that he thinks he's right. Like, he still talks about poisonous and venomous snakes, even though people have corrected him on that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like many Christians, unfortunately, just they don't know the science, right? It's not their fault. They just don't know the science. A lot of states in the U.S. just don't teach evolution. Right. They stay away from it, and it's unfortunate. So many Christians just don't know. Kent Hovind knows. He's been told many times.
Some of them are worried that they're going to go to hell.
Right.
He's been presented with the evidence many times, but he doubles down. He triples down on his delusions. I don't know why anybody would do that. I mean, it's frustrating because there's so much evidence backing up evolution and the age of the earth, right? I mean, the age of the earth has been settled for 100 years. 100 years it's been settled. Hey guys, guess what? We know the age of the earth is like 4.5 billion years old.
Yeah.
We don't have to debate it any longer.
Wrong.
Figured it out. We figured it out, right? But then, there's still people who have to argue it because their book says otherwise. They believe that their book says otherwise. So they have to refute it. Why? And what I wonder is, Christians will refute evolution, the age of the earth. Do they refute any other aspects of science? I don't hear them refuting any other aspect that doesn't directly negate their belief.
Now, you know what, and you know what, you have a couple great points there, and
thank you so very much, Bible Burner.
One I want to kind of expound on with you, Bible Burner, is the fact that you said probably Kent Hovind knows better, but a lot of Christians, you're right, do not know better. And I'll tell you, because I was a Christian for 40 years, and even though I grew up in a private Christian school, and I actually was even taught evolution, I didn't, as a kid, I never put evolution into the basket of the Noah story. And the reason I never did that is because there was part of my brain that I called spiritualism. I know that's funny. Where I just put questions I didn't necessarily believe about the Bible into that's the spiritual side of me, I'm not even gonna go down this path of, can this many animals really fit on a boat? Is there really this many water molecules in our system? I never did that. I never did that at all, because as soon as I was willing to accept God, which I did because I was born and raised from it, everything that I didn't believe about it was either a metaphor or it was spirituality. And I'm here to tell you that most Christians are that way. Even Christians who grew up believing in evolution, they know evolution is true. They have never really honestly questioned the story of Noah. They've never really honestly questioned whether there's a talking snake. They've never really questioned these things because they have just been brought up to believe it. And therefore, if they don't really believe it, it's spiritualism. It's part of this thing that you cannot question them about because it falls into something outside of logic for them.
It's amazing. It's amazing how the brain can compartmentalize. Like you said, on one hand,
they do.
How can you refute evolution? And on the other hand, you definitely can't refute the Bible. I mean, that's indoctrinated into you, right?
That's
so
right.
now you have to compartmentalize everything, and you got to believe two
opposing,
contradicting things.
They don't even realize it. Like a lot of times, you could ask them, hey, were there dinosaurs in the Garden of Eden? They'd say, well, yeah. Okay, when did the dinosaurs live? Oh, they die out like 65 million years ago? Like, you don't understand how those two they're not congruent. They don't really think about it. Like you said, there's a dichotomy of like the God side of the brain with the theology and everything, and then there's reality, and they kind of compartmentalize them.
No, absolutely. I think apologists and people like Kent Hovind, they are the exception on the internet. They are the people that try to reinforce their beliefs, and they are so stuck in it and have been in it for so many years. Even if they don't truly believe it, they have now convinced themselves of this belief and maybe make money off of it and write books off of it. But they're the exception. The majority of America, the majority of people who come to the internet and try to follow apologetics, they're not familiar with philosophical arguments. They're not familiar with apologetics. All they know is, I'm afraid of dying. I want to go to heaven. I want to do the right thing. And therefore, I'm willing to believe everything I was taught to believe. And once you start asking me questions about whether Noah exists or not, I'm going to be like, well, maybe it's a metaphor, or maybe it's part of my spirituality. And they don't realize spirituality is a partition of their brain that they have separated from logic.
Yeah, not everybody's an apologist. Like, for example, I commented, just a passing comment on a YouTube video. Didn't even have anything to do with theism. The girl just said something like, God helps people, or something offhand. And so I commented and I said,
I'm getting moved around here. What happened?
Something to the effect of, God's a delusion. And it's like the floodgates, like hundreds, like in the last day, I got like hundreds of comments from people. What are you talking about? God's a delusion? You don't believe in God? And so I hear every single, aspect of, where people are, from their argument, from like, look at the trees, which that they're a beginner arguer, right?
Yeah, right.
And then you hear more complicated, like arguments from contingency and stuff like that. And they've been thinking about it for a minute.
Fine tuning, stuff like that.
Fine tuning, which is ridiculous. Yeah.
And if I want to make one last point that you brought up, Bible Burner, and then we'll bring in Leophilius. Was that,
oh no.
Speaking of like a time and energy, a money sink, he has 40 people that, let's just say his whole shtick is, 40 people here, and I'm giving them house and food. I'm paying that utilities bill, tax-free, of course. But but this is just a rumor, and you know what, Kent? If this isn't true, come on our stream. But let's just say I don't like bullshit. The joke, the rumor around town is, of course, you're able to come over the first night, and it's free. Come on over. It's so warm and you're homeless. Where else do you have to go? And the funny thing about that, on day 2, is you got some good working hands. And the funny thing about those working hands is we can start to put them to work. So go grab a hammer and get that butt out there.
Amy, well, I mean, I would like a massage too. Maybe you can help me out with that.
Hello.
On a scale
I'd like some sexy massages.
From a scale of 1 to 5 wives. Wow,
You know the dude just hates women too. You know it. He has to. He has to hate women.
I've heard him call it a work camp before.
Revealing.
I didn't like that I know he does this all the time, but I didn't really like how he was mentioning the DVDs he had for sale during the debate. Like that.
He's always done that.
Yeah, I know. It just seems immoral.
Can I tell you, Atheist Junior? James and I sit here time in and day out. We try and make jokes. We make jokes about the Bible and all this stuff. And we're like, we're just making jokes. It's so funny. And then it happens. And we're like, okay, so he did actually just slaughter the goat and rub it all over him. But hey, you know what?
Well,
it was like a joke.
I have a book. It'll explain that to you. It'll tell you why it was good. I'm a book.
I would love to ask Kent about Numbers 5 and how he feels about God committing an abortion. But
I want to ask him. That's my new question. The same thing I asked John is I really want to know how they
with like a worldwide abortion.
Exactly that question. I want to know how they square that circle.
Well, he says evolution is a bunch of death, but it's like, well, not as much as your worldview, where you think like God pressed the reset button and flushed everyone down the toilet.
He thinks death is like something bad, but it's just a fact of life. Things don't live forever. That's just reality. I'm sorry, Kent. I'm sorry if that doesn't make you happy, but
not only is it a fact of life, it is part of being an adult. Part of being an adult is accepting that we grow older and then eventually we die. Hard truths. That's why we appreciate life. That's why we love life.
Right.
And it's one of the big fears and why I push a little bit harder for anti-theism, because that alleviation of the fear of death, they think it's so great. And sure, temporarily it is, but can lead to a whole bunch of bad coping mechanisms at best. And let's just say, and they hate this, yet it's you can't undo 9/11. So
especially when you think you'll be rewarded, in death for taking out infidels.
I think you brought up a great argument about the whole reset of the flood in the first place. I think it's just utterly ridiculous, and you have a failure of a God who knows that he's going to create Adam and Eve to fail, to populate the world, to then destroy them all with a flood, and then repopulate the world, to then kill himself to forgive all those people who just now repopulated. And then even still, from that time out, you have, 5 billion out of the 7 billion people in the world who don't believe in that story. So is God
go to hell?
Is God constantly failing? Is he going to have to destroy all of these people again and come up with a new savior? It didn't work with the flood. It didn't work with Jesus. What's the new savior now that God's going to come up with? Because he knows that 5 billion of us don't believe in the crap, right? So what's the new version of?
Are you saying
burn, baby, burn?
I picture like Yahweh was like just one of like many gods, and Yahweh was like the loser out of all of them, and like the rest of the gods look at him like, Yahweh, I mean, dude, what the fuck, man?
Right.
Really,
it's already been decided. God,
really?
According to the Bible, God judged the earth with a flood, and he's going to judge the earth again with cleansing fire.
Oh, cleansing fire.
Cleansing fire.
So he's already planning to kill us all again.
Because he was nice. He did say he would not drown us all again. Thank you,
right.
God. But I think Junior points out, don't get too happy, because he does have an alternate plan to kill us all again. So
I saw the Jim Majors debate that I was telling Amy about at the beginning. He said that when God presented the rainbow to Noah, that he was giving Noah a precipitation trophy. And I just thought that was really good, and I wanted to share that.
He's got a YouTube channel, folks.
Which debate was that? Who was Jim debating? Is that with Mr. Batman?
Yes, Mr. Batman.
That dumpster fire. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
And he said that they had to send a substitute in.
Were there rainbows before the rainbow that was the covenant rainbow?
No,
right?
no.
Well,
that is where God made it.
Light didn't refract at all before.
No, that is where God altered the property of waters.
Yep.
So they
gays didn't
refract
exist
light
back
after
then,
the
so there were
flood.
no rainbows.
Yep.
Not until Sodom, where God. Well, y'all know about what happened at Sodom, Amy.
A lot of
shout out.
Oh, do I?
Oh.
So here's another question that I've been tossing around. If Jesus is part of the triunal God, and he came obviously after the fact, right? Like
right.
God existed. God existed. So what? It was just God and the Holy Spirit, I guess. Maybe it's
Jesus.
just,
yeah.
Okay, so there was no Jesus
somewhere.
It was no.
He was
there.
Jesus wasn't by name.
Somewhere.
Yeah, he wasn't anywhere. It was just God and the Holy Spirit. So my question is before God created the universe, wouldn't the Holy Spirit just be redundant? Like, what's the point of God? What's the God and the Holy Spirit if there's no universe for the Holy Spirit to like move around? I mean, a God, an all-knowing being of God, is kind of the same as an all-knowing Holy Spirit, right? I mean, there would be no purpose.
Objection.
Okay, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't.
Hold on.
We probably better bring Leo Felius into this party here.
That's right.
We go too far along.
So Leo.
What's the objection exactly? What's the like? You can't just object in a court.
Offends God. Yeah.
No. Yes, I can.
Can if you're God.
Yeah. It's an objection for God because God is everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And everywhere.
If you don't like it, he'll send you to hell.
Yeah,
but sure. That's why I mean by redundant. If God is everywhere and everything, then what's the second personality of the Holy Spirit? Like, what would that be for? I mean,
well, you're trying to understand what God is. That's the problem.
True. Okay, so then, one other question: if
you can only do it with the Holy Spirit or something, it was like a God's interpreter or something like that, you know.
So, but if God and the Holy Spirit can then replicate, and now he's 3 personalities, how do we know he's just not like 10 right now? Maybe he's multiplied. Maybe he multiplies every year.
No, he's 3.
Maybe
the Father, the Son, the Cousin, and the Holy Spirit.
Every 9 months.
3 is the magic number because 3 is a triangle, and a triangle is the most compact and strongest geometric shape known to man. So there you go.
No, the strongest shape is a hexagon.
You're wrong. It's a triangle. I said so because the Bible said so.
Circle.
Damn.
Diamonds, man. Diamonds.
And okay, we'll go back into open conversation in a second. But Leo, we are midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. How are you? Do you have any thoughts about the debate or the topic? Either one.
Well, Leo's a big young earther, so it would be really good to hear what he has to say about it.
He's a flat Earth young earth.
Hardcore young Earth creationist. Geocentrist also.
Yep. Not even 6,000 years. He believes the Earth is only 3,000 years.
It's 1,500 years old. If you've ever seen Game of Thrones,
thank you.
Then you know what the wall is.
See
the Earth is flat, and that surrounds something like that is all the way around the edge. So the Earth is flat, and it's about 1,500
like
years
a girdle.
Anyway,
preach it.
I did watch.
I
got there fairly early. I think it was like maybe 15-20 minutes in. It was the typical Kent Hovind shtick that he does. It's one of the reasons why I admire ScienceSideUp or Maddie greatly. If you haven't subscribed to her, you really should. She's extraordinarily respectful and cordial and succinct when she engages in these discussions. Unlike most others, when she engages in these debates and these discussions, she's not doing it to win brownie points with the audience. She's not doing it to slam her interlocutor. Exactly. She's doing it because she's trying to provide education to as many people as possible and explain why certain ideas are just flat out wrong. there were some points that Kent Hovind made. The one that really struck me as odd is when Maddie explained what's often referred to as the Thea collision hypothesis, which is the leading hypothesis for the formation of the moon, which states, as she correctly pointed out in the debate earlier, some Mars-sized object that we're going to call it Thea. It struck the Earth, and when it did so, it tilted the Earth 23.4 degrees north on its axis. It caused the Earth to precess about its axis. So let me grab a pen here and sort of explain what that is. If you imagine this pen, keep the bottom fixed, but then allow the top to wobble about that fixed point. That is a precession. Earth does that about its axis. It also caused Earth's rotation. It explains why the moon is moving away from us. It explains why the moon has a very similar composition to the Earth. It explains why the moon is tidally locked to the Earth. It explains why what was the other one? There's another one that I cannot remember right off the top of my head. Another fact about the moon that is, in essence, when we look at the Earth-Moon system, the Thea collision hypothesis, which will likely never move beyond the point of being a hypothesis because we can't just get in the TARDIS and go back and watch this event happen, it will always remain a hypothesis. It thoroughly explains everything that we see. It's mathematically consistent. It's rigorous. It fits well within the framework of concepts in Newtonian mechanics as well as general relativity. These being the reasons why the vast majority of planetary scientists and astrophysicists would accept the Thea collision hypothesis. But Kent Hovind said something about something coming out of the Earth and becoming the moon. In my own experiences, I've never met a professional in any relevant field that thinks that. And the other point that I wanted to make is, it might have been Amy. One of you mentioned earlier about maybe 20 to 30 minutes after this stream had started that Kent Hovind seemed flustered, and a lot of that I can't remember who said it. They thought that had to do with the fact that Kent Hovind was engaging with a female. I think that it's twofold. I think number one, it was the fact that she was a female, but that she was a very well-educated female who knew what she was talking about and wasn't afraid to correct Kent. And I think that Kent didn't know how to contend with that. And I don't think he knew how to contend with the objections, arguments, or responses that Maddie was giving. And I think because of that, a couple times to me, it seemed that he was trying to essentially commit a red herring. He was trying to divert away from what the topic of the debate was. A few times he tried to, at least alluded to wanting to talk more about something along the lines of evolution. He tried a couple of times to move the discussion more into Big Bang cosmology. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he just really could not contend with like I said, the arguments, objections, or points that Maddie was raising. But overall, she performed exceptionally well in this debate, much, much better than a lot of other people that I've seen debate with Kent have done. I think Kent Hovind is very wrong on a lot of things, just like Darth Dawkins. But I must admit, I don't think they're bad debaters in the sense that they know, not in the sense that they make good points and they reasonably defend them, but more in the sense that they know all the little tricks and sleights of hand to trip up your opponent or pigeonhole your opponent or lead them down some rabbit hole that's tangential to the discussion at hand. And I think that Kent Hovind, like Darth Dawkins, is very good at doing that. And I don't think that he was capable. I think Maddie, whether or not she consciously was aware of that is irrelevant. He still was not capable of utilizing those tactics to steer the conversation in a way that he would have preferred to go. A few times I heard Maddie say, well, I want to get back to this point here, which I thought was just beautiful, because even with Aaron Raw, I only saw that maybe once or twice in his debate with Kent Hovind, but I saw Maddie do it significantly more often than that. All right, let's go back to the original point. And I think that that's one of the main reasons. I mean, not just the fact that she could reasonably substantiate the points that she was making, but that she was the one bringing the topic back or rather bringing the discussion back to what the topic was set for. She just overall, she had a phenomenal performance.
Woo-hoo.
She just has a very
I
calm
agree.
demeanor, and she comes across very composed. And
Maddie is everything that a very, very good, very skilled science communicator is supposed to be. She is, to me, the definition of a science communicator, and that's why you should go subscribe to her channel.
That's
like
right.
Neil
Go
deGrasse
subscribe.
Tyson almost.
And
Yes.
Leo, I agree because they come in with two different goals. Because she is not trying to debate her opinion. Like, this isn't just her views. This is science that she tries to teach to people that are basically don't know anything. And so, because that's you are a kid, that's fine.
This is reality,
when-
you know.
Exactly. So when she runs up to a wall, I think where most people's first impulse is to maybe attack them, she has woohoo. Though as long as careful sponsors. As long as they're okay with that. Evolution, Big Bang. He went on every topic.
I've never tasted alcohol.
Like Leo was saying before, it was like a shark kind of thing. Like he could feel that he wasn't getting blood from anywhere that was going to be the actual topic. He was like, oh crap. So when it comes to the age of the Earth, this is kind of the thing that she's been, I don't know if she has a PhD or a master's. She is extremely educated in. And
I can't remember what her level of education is, but regardless of what it is, it's obvious that she knows what she's talking about.
I think she has way more than Kent.
Yes.
She's got 2 PhDs, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Okay.
Oh,
One
Dr. Maddie.
Yeah,
one
I
in
was pretty
meteorology
sure
and
that she had a.
one in
Yeah,
biology.
well, if you don't want to call me doctor, that's fine. But I worked very hard on my doctorate.
I've been teaching biology for 15 years.
Well, I just can't believe that you would think that a pine tree and a mosquito are related.
Yeah. And so they moved
I've never tasted
towards
alcohol, so I don't know. I've never had a beer.
But
I've never tasted a beer, okay?
The way he says water.
Water. And I could see, and you see this with most academics, that the moment that she was pushed into a thing that wasn't her degree or expertise, she was very hesitant to make. She was like, I'm now just telling you what I learned in my high school class. Okay, take it up with my high school teachers. Yes, and so because that's the only way you can, because when he senses that he can't take that academic high, he then needs to move it to other places where she then needs to put those asterisks. Yep. So basically I agree. That's his tactic. And like you said, it's not just Kent that does it, Darth does it. They all do it. They all got to work through their shtick, their act. They got more bits than I have.
But I agree with Leo that they're good debaters, but it's not just that they're good debaters. It's just that there's only so many arguments against what they have. They know every single one of them. They know every single one that's going to be thrown at them, because there's just only so many. There's a handful that they have to deal with. And in Darth's case, he's been doing it for what, 12 years now?
Very long.
Quite a while, yeah. Much more.
Yeah, debating the exact same arguments that he knows is going to come up, and he still defaults to the one argument, the planting argument of fundamentalism. That's his argument.
Wait. So hold on. Soldier. In your worldview, what is that which is metaphysically primary and necessary that grants all possibility and impossibility?
Hot dogs.
Yeah,
right.
He's frustrated to watch.
I mean, it's the most idiotic. It's the most idiotic argument, because what you're basically saying is, I have defined something as fundamental, and here's what I defined it as, and it could be anything. It can literally be anything that you just threw in there to mean fundamental. And what is most amazing to me about Darth is he goes down to saying, no, he says that fundamentalism can only happen by a singular being. But he believes in a triunal God. What the fuck?
Oh, well, they all do that shtick.
How?
Well, I think Kent Hovind is actually better at that strategy that Leo was talking about than Darth, because Darth is so overt in his strategy.
Yes.
It's so evident what he is doing that I think actually Kent Hovind's better at it. Because
I agree. Yes.
Well,
you know,
Darth
is more annoying to watch because Darth, he doesn't let the other person talk. He just wants to ask them his specific questions.
Atheist, you're over talking me.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. You see him interrupt and then say when they try to still talk, you've interrupted me, when Darth was the one that interrupted, and he seems to firmly believe that anybody talking is them interrupting his privileged time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, okay, Amy, did you screen my interlocutors?
Did you screen?
He wants to ask people questions.
I can't do a Darth voice. I'm trying to think.
He doesn't get the specific answer that he wants.
Exactly. If he doesn't give the answer, even if it's the honest answer, if it's not the one he wants to hear, oh, you obviously misunderstood me. Let me ask the question. He will just keep asking it over and over until you give him the answer he wants. Yes.
Can I tell you?
Hey, Amy, I don't want to interrupt you. But you guys actually got to go. I thank you all for letting me join.
Do you want to do an outro, Soldier of Science? Would you like to have any final words on the Age of the Earth?
My final words on the Age of the Earth is stop watching flat earthers and creationists.
Lies.
You will look back on this 50 years from now, kids, while you're doing your search in world history, and you're going to see what we call the Age of Cognitive Dissonance. This is the age where humans had technology that were well beyond what their beliefs actually happen to be. Well beyond. They were able to use technology to figure out that they're wrong in many things, but they have not been able to do it yet. Thank you, guys.
Lies. All lies.
Thank you so very much, Soldier of Science, and it was nice having you on.
Thank you, Soldier.
Thank you. All right.
Peace out, buddy.
Out, guys.
Be well.
Peace out. You too, Leo. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, and I will say this, and this is just once again on the feelsies and just from taking it, even though I think they're both snake oil salesmen, I get the feeling that I could have a drink with Kent, and I don't feel like Antangelo is trying to be like the Darth Dawkins soothsayer or whatever, sage. He's like, I will figure out why Darth Dawkins, they do not like you. And it's because I hate to say it, and I know Darth can't change this, but Darth, it's in your voice, baby. Like, I listened to you, and you're just like, okay, atheist, how do you know that if in the time? It's like, wow.
Amy, in your worldview,
it's dripping, and so we can tell anyone coming into the conversation is like, okie dokie. I mean, it's called Atheist Helpline for a reason. Like, he's even just borderline trolling with that. So, but I love pre-subs. I know they drive the atheists crazy. But I don't know if we've ever really, they don't come on here a lot. And I just got to yell at one. I got Robin, I got to talk to on.
Oh my God, that guy.
On Donald's channel. But I felt bad because on actually when Donald was having a stream, Robin came on. But I was in my attack dog mode because Robin was doing his shtick with Donald. And I was like, I can't take this. And
did you see the one between Donald and Darth?
Between Donald and Darth? Oh, I think I need to see that.
Oh my God, Darth handled him so fucking well. It was beautiful. I did want to give a shout out to somebody in the chat. Carissa Avalone, how's it going? Nice to see you. I hope that you checked out that link that I sent you, because the point that you were talking about, that the creationists bring up with the carbon-14 and diamonds, is just a moot point. And that that article from the NC NSCE is a really, really good one. It hits a lot of the points on that argument that they give. So
It's all fake.
She's going to be my partner in the debate. My debate
Fake
coming
news.
up next week.
Whoa! So
Ooh.
I'm gonna let James talk about that. But first, I'm gonna re-put the link in chat, and we'll go for about another hour. But we've been having a fun. We've got midnight ranting on the Age of the Earth. I'll send the link back into chat if you'd like to join us. But James, you were just about to talk about a debate that's coming up.
I have a debate coming up. Let me just get the final details on that.
James is the master debater.
Oh, and I like to say,
I better
both
be.
James and I, we are master debaters. We debate in the morning. We debate in the evening. And sometimes when we're really committed to it,
that's right,
we debate in the shower.
Oh, nice. So juicy.
Juicy.
Always. But it's for the glory of God. That's the
right.
most important thing.
Don't forget
it's
that.
All,
Don't
it's all
forget.
for God. It's all for God's glory. Praise Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 10% of our paychecks somehow, apparently, for some reason.
Listen, God's got to pay the bills too. Come on now. So yeah, this Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern on Modern Day Debate, we'll be debating Alex Stein, that's the conspiracy guy, and Rose. And the topic is there are two suns, and NASA is hiding one of them.
Oh my fucking god! Oh, wait. Okay, no, hold on, really quickly.
It's true.
Really quickly, James.
It's
the
true.
very first question that you should ask your interlocutors is: can you give me a general relativistic description of a binary stellar system in our solar system? Give me the perturbations on the planets that show that there's another star. And when they can't do that, ask them, why can't you do that?
Right.
Either A, because there isn't another star, or B, because you are so fucking ignorant of the subject and of the mathematics that you can't do it, which means that I don't really have a reason to listen to anything you're saying to begin with, and certainly shouldn't consider it more meritable than the statements that legitimate academic experts are saying.
Well, that's your opinion. I could do it.
All those words are fake news.
Like,
I'm
Fake
convinced.
It's not fake. It's real. Two suns.
It's going to be
too
fun.
soon.
It's going to be fun.
Fun in the suns.
But
yes.
Alex, I don't know if there's any conspiracy theory he won't just jump onto, because he goes with any of them.
That's what I mean.
You could, if you put a video about leprechauns out tomorrow, Amy, that would be on his channel like a week from now, saying that there's leprechauns living in your
tea with one yesterday. Come on.
But see, this is
the
where
there you go,
Two
Bert.
Sons, Too Furious.
This is where, like, the joke,
bi-curious girdle.
it becomes into self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, I look at him, and I feel like he really is trying to imitate Alex Jones. I feel like he just sat there one day, and he was just like, got it. I got to shout really loud. I got to have, like, this. He has, like, this half-suit shtick. It does look like a cartoon. He's just
It's
like,
weird. I would love to debate him on
crazy ideas.
It might be a genius parody. Have you all realized this? It might
That's
be
what
the
I mean.
greatest, one of the
Yeah,
greatest
people
genius
there.
parody.
Genius
You know.
is correct.
Done better.
Genius is correct. Thank you so much.
Because it would take a genius to look that stupid.
He's a genius. Thank you.
And
You admitted
Rose, she was the one who was there for the debate. Were dinosaurs real? And she chimed in with her wonderful point that I looked at toys. And I don't see how the boy dinosaur could get its thingy inside the girl dinosaur. So therefore, dinosaurs weren't real. They're
not real. They're fake.
But that's was the argument that was made in that debate. So yay!
Yeah, the logistics of toy dinosaurs X is too.
All I
hard.
wanna
Logistics
say-
just don't work out. Yeah,
Possibly.
All I want to say is I would absolutely love to debate Alex on climate change.
He would destroy you easily.
Yeah, he would. I'm a masochist. I love being destroyed.
but Leo would love every
Facts and
second of it.
Hello.
Good flagellation. Yeah, nice.
Leo loves going on to John Maddox's channel and having Maddox just rip him a new asshole.
Yep. I can't tell you how much stuff I've learned about quantum mechanics from that guy. I mean, forget all the textbooks that I've read and I know that he hasn't. I just learned, like, you can literally get college credits if you watch this guy's channel. That's how great his knowledge is.
It's like PragerU.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
College credits in basket weaving or spitball throwing. Yeah.
And
I'm
okay,
so glad y'all are admitting all this because it's all true. Thank you.
Well, I went on
It's all
Stanley
true, Bird.
channel a little while back, and it was interesting because the theists on Standing for Truth channel, while I was debating there, they were all complaining that there's too many atheists on modern day debate. I shit you not. I was debating Nephilim Free, and I'm just seeing all of these complaints going, oh, it's nothing but atheists. They've taken over modern day debate. And yeah, it was just
y'all
It's
have
so
because y'all are
funny.
heathens. You need God. That's why.
both James and I are Patreons of James, and he is a Christian. But we're like, make more debates. So we're out there supporting James, even though it can be a little bit. We like the dumpster fire.
Little bit. Once in a while.
Nephilim Free is a dumpster fire. Just, oh God, it is so hard to talk to that guy. So hard. But see, I've dealt with him since 2015, so for the last 6 years, because I originally met him on Pal Talk.
He's like Darth. He's been
2016 or 2015. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I recently had an exchange with him on David P. Neff's channel. You should check him out if you get the chance. I can throw the link in the YouTube chat here in a second. It's got pretty good content. Anyway, he was talking about with Jordan Karam, I think is his name, who's a nuclear engineer who had a debate with, don't quote me, but I think it was David McQueen on SFT's channel on the Age of the Earth. And Neffy came in and was talking to him about radioactive decay and how physicists don't even know why it happens or, why it's a thing. And I came in like, yeah, we do. Please go learn electroweak theory.
Silly scientist.
It's all fake.
And
you should have physicist Otangelo, astrophysics major Otangelo, come in and correct you on that one.
You know what the thing is? He will not debate me on, not on anything anymore. I've had 3 debates with him, but he will not debate me. I always hear all these theists bring up the Kalam cosmological argument. They love it. They love to throw it in an atheist's face. But then when I challenge them to a formal debate about the Kalam cosmological argument, I hear crickets.
But Leo,
what's going on?
It's
gravity do not act on gas. You cannot have star formation because gravity does not work on gases.
I'll tell you what, James. When he said that, I was actually in the stream. I died fucking.
I think we all died.
Check my ears. The doctor.
No, Amy thought maybe it was one of his trolls just. BSing,
well,
but
no, I
that
think
was
he had to prove that it was him that day.
Yes.
Everyone was like, no, you're the fake Otangelo. He's like, no, gas is not going to have it.
He came in and he to the stream and he was like, yeah, no, gravity doesn't act on gases. And I'm just like, oh my God.
He's right, though. He's right.
And I just want to say,
exactly.
This is. I'm trying to think. This is the opposite.
Vicarious gravity.
Little screen bird over there.
I'm vicarious for sure. Yep.
Go ahead. And yes, I actually did.
Don't show your girdle.
I just did my recent Ayatollah bit. I think I should. I have to get it up on stream. And then I'm going to be uploading more fun stand-up because people are starting to open again. Amazing! So I can go.
It's amazing.
Feels good. And if you want to see my early stand-up, which I learned early on to not like your stand-up in a debate because it turns out that the Christians don't like my stand-up. But that's okay. I got a whole Ayatollah. We'll find out if the Muslims like my stand-up.
They definitely won't.
No, they're not going to like you any better than
God Allah.
Christians.
If it's not even a joke about Islam, it's a joke about more than
like where's the freak? He's the born-again Muslim, so he can come in here and tell you how it is.
Well, that's okay. But we're moving right along. Oz. We are midnight ranting on the Age of the Earth, either the debate or just the topic itself, because apparently this has become controversial. How are you, and what are your thoughts?
What was controversial?
Ooh, I just want you to say, not only do I like that sticker, but it goes along with my "You Don't Need Religion" right back there. I like your sticker.
Yeah. Imagine there's no God and no religion too,
and there's no heaven,
or hell beneath you.
That's right.
And then I'm getting paid to write this song because baby,
you're welcome.
It's easy if you try.
And remember,
you just try.
remember, I am more popular than Jesus Christ.
You can
Lies.
say
He's the
I'm
most
a
popular ever.
dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I'm sorry,
But-
that's a good song.
But
It's a song.
at this point in the ballgame, I don't know how the age of the earth is any longer controversial unless you just have your head directly inserted into the donkey's ass that Jesus rode into the town in. Like I don't get it.
The Bible tells us.
That's enough of that. I'm so tired of it.
Don't make me go in my Pentecostal preacher voice.
Oh shit!
I will make you give your tithe and offerings.
Get that 10%
The Bible
out
tells
of
us.
Oh my.
And God said,
So, Mr. President, what's your favorite Bible verse? Well, it's really hard to pick. I just love all of them. You don't know anything about the Bible, do you?
My favorite is just the way he holds it. That is my favorite. He holds it like, do we eat this? What do we do with this?
I think his favorite was 2 Corinthians. I think that was his favorite.
Leo,
He said 2 Corinthians.
What's up?
Yes.
Leo, what you're missing? Listen, saints. You don't need to know whether it's 1st or 2 Corinthians or 4th Corinthians. What you need to know is we're saved by grace through faith, saints. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many scriptures you know. It doesn't matter how many prayers you said today. You are saved by grace through faith. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, but it sounds like the start of a really bad
woman.
joke. 2 Corinthians
woman.
walk into a bar.
And thank you so very much, Oz. And I don't think we got a whole lot of evidence tonight
Can I ask Oz a really quick question?
for creationism. And sure, absolutely.
So there's Oz. There's somebody that you work with on TART. I want to say I was told it was Jeff, but I'm not sure. But because I've got some minor issues with OBS on my MacBook that I don't know OBS well enough to figure it out. But I was told that this person is really good with OBS and pretty good with MacBooks. Do you know? Is that Jeff or is that somebody else? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Well, as far as going across several platforms like that, it would definitely be Jeff.
Okay. Is there any way that you might be able to give me an email, or does he have a Twitter or something? I can contact him and maybe ask him some questions, get some help with OBS.
I will put the email in the chat right now.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, bud.
Yep.
And I got to get Peter back on because I am about to. I'm like
Peter
a
the
week
Tucker?
or 2 away. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is.
That's your
He's-
opinion.
He's good at producing. That's your opinion. But I am about to hopefully have a atheist/skeptic, I guess, version of whatever SNL or the talk show is. But I want to do atheist and religious news stories. So check that and more fun
That will be
stuff
fun.
out soon. Oh, it's cathartic. I have the first few jokes. I think I've already gone over with James written. So now I just gotta get the pre and the post production in
Is it
order.
a kangaroo joke? Because you killed tonight with that.
Oh man,
Murder.
It's just so funny that he does it. He does it to himself, and yet he also wants to be a comedian. So like his dad, I said in chat, we need to have the dad joke and tranny tour. Like Kent, baby, just come join me, and you and I will just do jokes. I'll open for
China.
you open for me.
Does anybody here? Does anybody here know how to set up a debate with Kent Hovind? Because I'm trying to get a debate with him on physical cosmology versus biblical cosmology.
So I should have sent a second email, but I procrastinated. But I was James, the other James of Modern Day Debate, gave me his tech guy's email, and I emailed the guy saying, "Let's set up a debate." So I could have freaking debated Kent Hovind, but he catfished me or whatever the
Hopefully Atheist
profiteer is.
Junior will have it. Atheist Junior was in contact with him.
It's true. I wish you luck, Atheist Junior. Myers
Thank
every
you.
night.
I scheduled a debate. I called his the phone number to DAL and then extension 1. So it's like 855 Big Dino. And then extension 1.
right.
Extension 3 is to talk to Kent, but he never answers. So I just did extension 1 and it went to the secretary and she scheduled it. Now, if it's actually going to happen, will yet to be seen, hopefully, but it is scheduled.
Well, that he didn't
Wait, hold
answer
on.
because he's out working. That's why.
Is that the reason why like Kent's debates on MDD and other platforms always seem to get rescheduled? Is because his secretary scheduled the debates, but then he never shows up?
Tech issues?
I don't.
That's
It's
part of
because
it.
they're in
They're on Christian
backwoods
time.
Alabama, so
The
What's
the
going
internet's very
on?
slow.
Hey, Steve, what's going on? You think you can figure it out? Oh, there's
Yeah.
a boy drowning. Oh, don't worry about it. He'll be all right.
Steve.
Wait,
Yeah.
you know Steve too?
I got to go to Colorado, make a
You know
ganja
Steve?
run.
No.
I've heard of Kent Steve. I don't like nobody looks like or anything, but I have heard of him and I've heard Kent
He's a
mention him
stoner.
numerous times.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Steve right now. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Oh, no.
Oh, hey, Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey.
Steve.
Kent's tech guy.
Hey,
Yeah.
why are we all hollering at Steve? Why are we all
Oh.
hollering at Steve?
Speaking of tech support, guys, we all heard the hot live mic moment, right? I didn't want to say it in chat, but when he was
Yeah.
getting fed answers, it was either someone was shouting answers at him or he had a mic somewhere. Because I heard someone be like, "Ask her, she doesn't have no doubt," or something like that, and then he said it word for word back in there. I was like, "Okay, buddy, you really got to come after the high school or the middle school science teacher with the hotline."
I just wanted to say
He's got a
this
hot
guy. This guy is, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I swear to God, he's got like a monitor in his fucking brain when somebody says his name. Peter's in the side chat now. How's it going,
He
Peter?
does.
Is he? Hi,
It's-
Peter. I'm
Hey,
sending
Peter.
hearts. I'm probably you
How
and
is
I
it
are going
going,
to do some
Peter?
collaborating.
I'm gonna start calling him Peter in the traditional. What is it? He's not. He lives close to Germany, but he lives. Oh God, it's
Holland.
not. Is
I
it
need to
Holland?
figure out
Is it
what
Holland or
school
is it?
a
Is it
Holland
Holland?
Austrian.
Okay.
He lives on between like two countries.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to figure out
yeah.
what the other country is.
And I'm gonna start calling him Peter because that's how they pronounce it. How is it going, Peter?
And hey, Atheist Junior, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I know. In our chat, off of here, you said you're just new to this. Have you newly started a YouTube channel or anything?
Yeah, I started a channel about a year ago, but it's recently picked up in like the last 6 months or so.
Okay. The reason I'm asking, if you get a hold of me, I'll put my email in the chat. We're in about a week or two, we're getting ready to do a new YouTube, new atheist YouTube content creator platform or a stream on our channel where all we do is promote new channels that are up and coming or that just started. So if you want to be a part of that, Amy was a part, Leo was a part. There's been many people that have hooked up with that. So if you want to be a part of that, just let me know.
Well, you never asked
It
me.
sounds
Thanks
great.
a lot, Oz.
Oh, I thought
Sounds-
Bert, I thought you're still a Christian. My bad. You want to be a part?
I mean, I am a Christian. Thank you for asking, but yeah, I'd love to be a part of it.
We're promoting atheist Christians. Sure, that makes sense.
Well, yeah,
Bert, we thought you were just in the game for so.
yeah. Of course, I go both ways. You know.
No,
I know how that goes.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Say
take
that
off.
about my laptop.
Bye, Mark.
Where's your girdle?
All right.
Oh,
See you
So-
guys. I'm going to take off.
Mark,
I got to have some
did you-
lunch and do some work.
did you want to say any final notes on the age of the Earth?
No, not really. Although
Vicarious
I
girdle.
just one thing I want to mention is: did anyone else notice the way that he snuck in a question without paying for a super chat? Disgusting, disgusting. Offended, and
Triggered.
you know,
Yeah, you would be triggered by
gratuitously-
that. You
yeah,
would be
disgusting behavior. Anyway, guys, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for talking.
Thank you,
and,
Mark.
Loved it.
Absolutely.
And bye, everybody. Have a good.
I
good
did not
night.
hit
night,
her.
bye-bye.
I did not. Oh,
Peace
hi,
out,
Hi,
Mark. Be well.
Mark. Thank you for being
triggered.
on. Very triggered. And okay, before
So
we go
triggered.
back into conversation, I'm going to her name. I'm going to say it as her name says. We are midnight ranting on Age of the Earth, social justice bard. How are you? And what are your thoughts?
Well,
about
hello,
anything we're talking
ladies.
tonight?
How you like my name, Amy?
Hi, Maud.
Oh my gosh, I'm not that
Bart?
old. But yeah, I didn't realize we were like streaming tonight until like
Neither did we.
until I like pulled
Yeah.
up Twitch. I was like, wait, and then I still have to rewatch that debate. I didn't see Kent Hovind on tonight.
Oh, you missed
That's
out.
terrible.
I figured I did. I mean, but you know, I had the wonderful, wonderful video of Kent from yesterday to kind of placate me until I can go ahead and watch it. But so there's some people here I haven't met yet. So hello.
Hello.
So just for context, Amy's one of my best friends, and I'm a theistic skeptic. I pretty much mostly identify with like the Unitarian Universalist Church, which does include atheists and agnostics as well. It's, you know, my thing is like I can find like beauty for life in basically every religion, and I don't think any one religion has it 100% right. So
fake news.
I'm not with you or against you, so you're against me.
Oh,
we love you. Come on, we'll get you over to the finish line.
Anyways, I guess I'm just kind of curious because I've been kind of thinking as like I'm hanging out here more, watching some of these people like Kent Hovind and everything else. So my kind of like expertise in life, so to speak, or you know, with interests, isn't typically debating atheism versus theism. It's actually more onto social and political topics. So I guess like my question, if anybody, you know, has any ideas or thoughts on this is, so how do we fight against this clear lack of education? Because I'm so like,
don't mind him.
I mean, listen, like, even though I'm a theist, I'm still a skeptic, and I just think that there's some irreparable harm that's being done as these people have a platform. So
I don't take responsibility at all.
That's perfect. That's like one of the people the past 4 years have been kind of hell.
Can I provide an answer to your question from my perspective, if I may? I think that education is obviously one of the most important aspects of the human society. I think one of the biggest reasons is, I'm sure almost everybody in here has probably heard the phrase, history is often written by the victors. It's true. And when we learn things in school, we tend to learn it from perspectives, from intersocietal perspectives that tend to gloss over, if not outright ignore, nuances that exist in societies, between societies. I think one of the best ways to combat what I would argue, at least in the United States, is rampant anti-intellectualism that has taken hold, is we need classes or instructions on things like thinking scientifically, thinking skeptically, understanding how to analyze data in an academic field, understanding the legitimacy or the merit that is present in being an academic professional and why we should consider the things that they're saying with merit. I think that these kinds of instructions or courses would be I would argue that they're central to improving the quality of education. We don't need to teach people what they should think and what they should know. We need to teach them how to think and how to know.
I was going to say, you know, I did just take, you know, and it's at my college, it's English 101, but it's critical thinking. And I'll be honest, I think that should be something that we should be teaching way earlier. Like, I'm trying to, I have a 6-year-old son, and I'm trying to start teaching him some of that. Like, that's why we don't press religion. He knows like what, you know, the general basics of what I believe, and, you know, the partner of mine who's their father figure, you know, we don't really talk about religion much. Most of their interaction with religion is actually through people that aren't me or, you know, my son's father figure, like my sister and stuff. But, you know, I'm trying to impart knowledge. Like, my son is advanced for his age as far as knowledge, and, you know, people were shocked, but I'm like, well, you know, I'm not perfect, but that's the one thing I've tried to do is get him interested in literature and different things, how things work, you know, because that's, I mean, a fundamental thing to having really good critical thinking skills later on. So, I definitely agree with that. And, I think you do have a point, Leo, about the anti-intellectualism. And this is somebody who's like, I love Chrissy Chalbecca. Like, she's like the bimbo. Oh my gosh. I forget what she technically like kind of calls herself. Like, I don't know if it's like the bimbo feminist, but yeah. I love, I don't necessarily think like you have to be super smart to.
I'll show you my tits for feminism.
See 'em.
But I'm just saying, it's like, I don't think you necessarily have to be, super, super smart to have a value and have, valid opinions that are, and is your value as a person. But I definitely think there are people who as we become really embroiled with tech, and I say this as somebody who, like, I threw basically my high school at the window because, internet. But yet, I didn't have, and I do admit, though, I was kind of behind on getting some tech, like I had a 1990s style Kyocera as my first cell phone in like 2009. Just so I was a little bit behind, but I definitely think, my point is that we are super addicted to the immediacy that the internet provides us. I think as a whole, news moves so fast now, and it's onto like the next big entertainment shock, so versus what new scientific progress has been made today, unless it involves something that's like deadly or whatever. But then it's not always, prominent news. Sometimes it's a little 2-minute bit, not even, on a nightly news program where they're covering like politics and everything else. So,
but we are smarter. We are smarter and dumber at the same time nowadays.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree, Bird. I think that's kind of like this TLDR of what I'm trying to get at. Like, and I just think it's amazing. Like, I love the internet. I love the fact that there's all of us here that are able to interact with each other and have good conversation.
Porn.
So,
yep.
But at the same time, like, how much is it actively doing harm to progress as, a people?
Can I build off of what Bird said really quickly?
Leo, make that point, and then
it's going to be quick.
The freak wants to show us something. So, but no, the floor is all back to you.
All right. What I would say is that I don't think that what Bird said was incorrect. I think I would just word it differently, and that is that we are smarter in the sense that we have a much greater ease of access to a broad swath of information. But we're dumber in the sense that we don't utilize that information to educate ourselves. We utilize it to support preconceived biases that we've already convinced ourselves must be true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I just respond to her original question?
Our retention is way lower than what it used to be. Sorry, Atheist, go ahead.
Asking about like what to do about the lack of education. And I'll be real quick, but I would just say end the war on drugs, take the money saved and pump it back into the education system and teach philosophy classes at a younger age.
What about the war on prostitution and
philosophy?
Prostitution should be decriminalized.
Yes, thank you. The social justice heart loves all of this because
it's stupid.
Let's come back to the philosophy class. Let's come back to that.
I'm down.
Like, this is the thing. So my partner, he went to a private school in Salisbury, Maryland, which, I mean, it's not, you got Ocean City, Maryland nearby, but it's not like a huge metropolitan area. It's kind of rural. He had these classes versus like I went to the best public school system in the state of Delaware, and we didn't have access to nearly, I think, half as much as they did. And, I definitely think, we have to work on income inequality and also making sure that it's not just the we have to work on the education inequality that results from income inequality, because we can't just have the rich, the bourgeoisie, as Marx puts it, being the people that are smart and have all the access to power, just like how it used to be with the church.
You just gained plus 100 respect because you mentioned Marx.
Something else must be small.
I mean, you already have my respect because you have a pretty dope lion persona, but thank you. Sorry, I'm from the furry community as well. And the moment I saw it, I was like, oh!
I'm not a furry, but I do have I do have probably what would be considered an unhealthy obsession with lions as an animal.
It's
and
okay.
you hang out with hyenas.
He's a dabbler.
It's okay. It's all right. You're all good. It's something different for everybody. I just But,
Amy's got her girdle ready. The
bi-curious girdle. And okay, we are Midnight Ranting. If you've just joined us on the Age of the Earth, what an amazingly new and trending topic. DeFreak,
I'm sure this is going to be good.
And what are your thoughts about either the debate, the topic, the meaning of life, tacos?
Get your freak on.
Who's got this on board?
Beaver.
What's that?
It's pretty
I can
cool.
hear you.
Whoever's got this on board. I've got a couple of links I want to send, and also just a question. Okay, so does anyone know atmosphere, how tall it is from off the face of the Earth, off the surface, or how high it goes?
Yes.
By chance.
Yes. If you're talking, well, the first thing that needs to be mentioned is that question is a little bit nuanced because, I mean, we could go 500 miles above this, what we would call sea level, and we might still find particles that would be in a greater abundance than what we would consider to be the vacuum of space. But if we're talking about Earth's atmosphere in a more of a colloquial or more meaningful sense that people who are not trained in those respective fields, it's roughly about 125 miles high.
I think it's called the Draper Point.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 100 miles, I think.
All right, fair. That's I thought it was about 300. But I guess fake news. Everything is fake news anymore. But anyway,
fake news. Hey, that's
I'm gonna go with 300
word.
Because that's how I explain it. So we can agree that 300 is a fair enough median between 5 and 1. Yeah. Okay. So that's driving from Tampa Bay to Miami, basically on the Tamiami Highway, about 300 miles. So you got 300 miles of a vapor versus the whole vastness of the vacuum of space. And it's no wonder we're not literally just vaporized into nothing. And God, it has nothing to do with the Lord at all. Is that what you're gonna try and sell me one day? It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, we're not vaporized mainly. Well, number one, because of Earth's magnetic field, and number two, because of the O3, or I should say ozone layer that exists in our upper atmosphere.
Yeah.
Magnetic field. Mm-hmm. I mean, you mean the Northern Lights, remnant,
well,
or whatever.
The Northern Lights are a result.
The vacuum of just the cosmos, the whatever, would just rip this place in half. 300 miles, bro. A trip from Tampa Bay to Miami versus the whole everything out there. Just think about it.
Most things in the universe aren't going to interact with the Earth or our entire solar system in any meaningful sense. They're too far away.
Well, exactly. There's just more void for the water to just vaporize.
The Earth is getting bombarded with cosmic rays from the sun, but things like X-rays get sent from the sun, but they don't penetrate Earth's atmosphere because the wavelength of the X-rays is too small to make it between the oxygen and nitrogen atoms. So,
well, yeah, I've never been sunburnt either. I mean, you are lucky.
You've never been sunburned?
I've been sunburned.
Right.
X-rays would do depending on your exposure and their intensity, would do a little bit more than
There's no way to explain it. There's just no way to explain
ultraviolet light.
There's no way to explain it. A trip from Tampa Bay to Miami is holding us all in here, and the Lord has nothing to do with none of it.
Yeah, gravity is holding us.
Give me a break, dude. Give me a stinking break.
Okay.
Give me a break
Are you a
already.
flat earther?
I mean, do you want me to drive to the store and get you a
No.
Kit Kat? I can do that for you.
So wait, DeFreak, are
No, I'm not a
you
flat earther. You
okay,
want to know what flat Earth is best for?
I love
Reestablishing
You
Christopher
sound
Columbus.
like a flat earther.
No, I'm not a flat earther. I'm a science guy. I was actually I was always a science guy.
What a
Don't even
beautiful
say
name.
the word science, dude. Fuck off.
Huh? Say what?
Don't even say the word science. You don't know anything about science, dude. You're so ignorant of science, it's not even funny. So just stop.
Well, I mean that's a pretty
Yeah,
big
wow.
assumption.
Yeah, no, dude. I read all your
Their
comments
fault.
for
Something
days
else must be
now,
his fault.
dude. Just stop. Go read up. Why ask us?
What do you mean? Why ask you?
What are you
Go out-
asking?
Go read
What am
up.
I asking?
Yeah.
Go read up.
Why
Go
aren't
read
we
up on some science
vaporized?
books.
What do
Wait,
you mean by vaporized?
yeah, exactly. What do you mean by that?
You come in here and you start harassing us.
Okay,
If
let him
you were
talk.
to go
Let
out
him
into
talk
space
about
in your astronaut suit and you got a pinhole in your astronaut uniform,
Somebody needs to
bit of
turn the
feedback.
vacuum off.
wasted. You're done.
Whatever.
That's in the vacuum of space, though. The Earth is protected by its
What's
atmosphere.
the whole galaxy, brah?
What is the galaxy?
What's
The
the
Earth
whole
is protected.
everything?
Why
Come on.
educate this guy?
What do you mean?
Go
When you
read
say
up.
what is the galaxy? In what sense are you speaking?
It's space. It's like, it's whatever's not there. It's space.
Yep.
It's a vacuum. It's void. There's no
I get it.
particles.
There actually
densely like
are.
they are here.
There actually are particles in the vacuum of space. It's just that they're so few and so far in between that we call it, well, a
Right.
vacuum.
False.
Exactly.
Do you know why the Earth's atmosphere isn't sucked into the vacuum of space? Can you tell me that?
I'm just telling you, it's only a 300-mile buffer, and you should really think about
I
everything.
love you.
Okay, but why? What did you mean when you said vaporized? What do you mean by that?
What happens when you do your little vacuum experiment, in science class, and you put like a ball in the thing or a balloon or whatever, and you do the vacuum and you turn it on and the pump and it pops, and that's what happens. If you pop off.
Tremendous.
Yeah, that's because
That's what happens when.
the objects that you're working with in your science class in high school are not nearly massive enough to have to produce a strong enough gravitational field to resist those effects.
Huge.
And so I just want to interrupt you guys for just 1 second. I will say we're on the road to super chats. We're on the road there. We got to get just 1,000 subscribers. So
1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch
So I will say, we're just about to cross, and so you can get those links and get. But we're just about to cross 3,500 watch hours, and so we're almost at 4,000 watch hours already, which is crazy. So yeah, so now it's just about getting those subscribers. So if you like what you hear.
You've got the talent to take Jesus mainstream.
Those long conversations are having a good benefit.
Yes. Well, you know what?
377. We are on the way,
I feel like
baby.
this started because it was just so unproductive to scream into a void, and now it feels like I can get into here and scream to other people. Yay!
The links aren't posting, are they?
What was that?
Only on the
just give me in the private chat
stream or whatever.
That's okay. I'll send them into stream. And so, in fact, I'll load it, and here we can talk about it. What do you?
Okay. Pull up the Wikipedia one first. Actually, pull up the Wikipedia.
I'm actually gonna get the skeptics annotated, but we're gonna load up Isaiah 17. It looks like you're saying.
Oh, are we're doing this Hovind style?
And
damn right, Austin, don't interrupt,
Damascus
man.
Wikipedia.
Don't be rude.
Hell yeah.
Well, I've never had alcohol.
You might like this.
God damn it, James, you have to stop. That's enough. I can't handle it. I can't handle it, man.
At least mix it a Biden, stupid Biden,
Yep.
I don't know, whatever he says.
Go on, brother. Tell him what's up.
China.
What's up?
I've never had alcohol.
That's right.
what does he say? What does he
Oh,
dumbass say?
I voted for Biden.
The other day
sir.
he's
I will
all
not have him be called stupid.
Americans do better. America does better when Americans do well.
That's right.
That's what he said.
That's exactly what he said. Tell him to freak, get him.
In my opinion, they could have put like a sack of potatoes, and they're like sack of potatoes or the former choice, and I would have been like sack of potatoes 2020.
Don't you dare! Potatoes are delicious.
They could have put that piece of corn
no.
that's caught in your dingleberry against Trump, and I would have voted for the piece of corn in your dingleberry.
Oh goodness!
And God said,
but okay. And we're going to be going, I think, for about another 30 minutes. We've been having a lot of fun. We've been midnight ranting on the age of the Earth, but the freak is now going to, I'm going to say apologetic. I'll put it nicely. Okay, so we're at the burn of Damascus.
Go for it.
You're taking us to school. The freak is taking us to school.
If you, am I on mute here? What the hell?
No.
Okay,
no. Hear you.
No, we hear you.
Unfortunately.
The Wikipedia Damascus page would be where I would want to go first, actually.
Give me 1 second. Did you didn't have a specific?
No, just read the Bible. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear the Bible.
We want to look up Damascus real quick. We want to establish that from antiquity, it's basically been not a ruined city. Okay.
You're right.
Where's Donald?
Go ahead.
Now read Isaiah 17, and look. What's the first thing? These are happening in front of your face.
That's right.
These are things that glorify God. These are the things that get you through.
I just want you to know that there is nothing more exciting as a podcast listener on the treadmill than to be reading Wikipedia.
Long and very hard.
So, all right, let's get this. We're reading Damascus.
Hey, yeah.
So what was the point?
Tell him the freak, get him.
The freak?
Get him. If you look up Damascus, you'll read about how it's been around forever, basically for a long time. Yep. And it's never been completely razed. It's never been ruined. It's never been destroyed.
It's like Egypt. It's still there.
Be careful.
Are you trying to draw a correlation between Damascus being around forever and them being like a holy or chosen or favored city or something?
No, but actually, if you just see that it's been an antiquity for as long as we've known history on Earth.
That's right.
And it's never been razed or completely destroyed. It's always been around. It's always been viable. It's always been here. It's always testified in the Earth.
Yes.
Do you think it's the only city that's that way? Because it's not.
But is there
No, but
something
if you read
supernatural about that?
17
There
now,
are
and you
cities
just,
older than Damascus.
Read the very
Lies.
first sentence
news.
of Isaiah 17. You'll
Is
see.
it a fulfilled prophecy?
Isn't it? Read the rest of it.
Just let him get to it. Come on, DeFreak. Tell him what's up. Come on.
But wait, isn't this a failed prophecy of the Bible?
That's your
Well, sure, it's
interpretation.
failed until it's coming true in front of your face.
Exactly.
Oh,
Tell him,
Lord.
DeFreak.
Wait. What is the apologetic here? I thought the apologetic.
It's fulfilled prophecy. That's what he thinks.
But
No,
isn't
it's
it opposite?
No, it's being fulfilled. It's never been.
It's an
ruined.
unfulfilled prophecy, not a failed
Exactly.
one.
Right.
Take a look at her now.
Tell him.
Would this be a stronger prophecy if the burden of Damascus and the Damascus will become a ruinous heap if Damascus actually became a ruinous heap?
Touch
right.
not the anointed. Let the man of God speak.
Yes, it obviously would. I think his point, though, is if it's a prophecy, it doesn't necessarily say when. There's no.
Oh, what a
fixed
great
time
prophecy.
point.
It's going to happen
How
eventually.
prophecy-
Just
how
wait
prophecy
along.
These are the
work,
things
and
that
I'm
he
not
tells
saying
you
I agree with
beforehand
it, but
that you might
typically
believe.
it's putting together a whole bunch of clues.
It's almost like the prophecy that there will be earthquakes
God ain't
in
simple.
diverse
He ain't
places,
simple.
random places. Yeah, there you go.
If he was a dumb God, you would accuse him of being dumb, and then you would be God. So he can't allow that.
And nobody
It's
knows a
so-
troll like I know a troll.
They've been telling me I'm still. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
I bet you
But
none
hey,
of you have
that's what
even
she
read
said.
the first line.
That's what
yet,
she
and
said.
I
That's what
bet
she
none
said.
of you have even read the first line of that chapter, and then you're going to sit here and try and be like, troll, no science, you're dumb. And listen, you won't even take one piece of evidence, you people.
I actually
But
have
that's-
read that
this is so
chapter because I've
specific.
read the whole
Specific
Bible. I just don't remember
time,
it all.
Dates, places.
You reject everything outright
so
for what?
clear,
But wait.
Defeat. This is so fucking clear
No.
that it's a fucking prophecy, dude.
Tell him
So
to
clear. The
freak.
people at the time would have
That's all I
totally
got.
known what the fuck is being said here.
It's
right?
not even a failed prophecy because prophecies aren't like real things that happen because it's just not the way that reality works. It's
true.
a bunch of people who thought that something was going to happen and then it didn't.
It did.
Because they can't predict the future and they were wrong. Like most prophecies in the Bible.
Yep.
But the freak,
And I think there is something to. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to point out too. I think there is something too to be said for any psychological, connection to a prophecy has failed. Like because part of what a prophecy is trying to put together
How do you know
clues.
it failed? They don't even look. They
So
don't
I think
even
it
look.
could
They
be
don't
said.
even know.
Hold on.
What do you mean? What do you
Let
mean
me finish my
failed?
point, please.
Totally brilliant.
I think it's the whole point of prophecies are you're putting together pieces of a puzzle, but a lot of the times there's not super specificity involved with
I'm
it.
giving
So
you real-time
under most
Huawei.
circumstances, other things can be a part of a puzzle. That's just how prophecies work. I'm not saying I agree or disagree.
I'm just showing you what is proof and what is happening.
Oh wait, that's
Make
my
up your own
question.
mind.
Hold on.
I know
no,
what you're gonna. I know
hold
what your
on,
mind is
hold
gonna be
on.
made up already. But I'm just showing you
Everybody
something
hold
that you
on.
can.
But you could also be finding something
hang
that's
your hat on a little
not
bit.
actually there
Everybody hold
by
on.
doing it too. Like this is the thing. This is why I think you have to approach this kind of thing very carefully because after Princess Diana died or something like that, weren't there people saying that was predicted in the Bible? But
I don't know. I don't think so.
Confirmation bias much?
I believe so. But it's, my point is I think when you're
What does
talking about
Diana have to do with Jerusalem or Israel or anything?
it's the general point that you can find something. You will try and fit an occurrence into a box to make it part of your prophecy and to make
Look
it.
at what the evidence I brought you already. The city's never been ruined, and then look what's happening there. Half of the city's gone.
But the Bible has an Old and New Testament.
It's barely mortar standing up.
If I was one of the writers of the Bible and I was writing a New Testament and there was a prophecy in the Old Testament, I could write the chapter in the New Testament to fulfill that prophecy. And you also don't know the people in this hangout, so you shouldn't be saying that they haven't read this verse. And you don't know that.
Once again, to freak, because we're spending all this time. The point, and I'm gonna say this once again to try and reiterate, is the point. The evidence enumerate is that that Damascus will one day be ruined, and that is one of the pieces of evidence that a God is real. The Bible's true. What is the claim here?
Just one more non-coincidence. That's just a coincidence that just adds up to a whole lot of nothing.
But wait.
A whole
What
lot
is
of
the
nothing. It all adds up
coincidence?
to nothing.
What is a coincidence?
Just another one to put in the pile that you've witnessed and you've testified to that you'll remember.
Yeah. I have a question.
When you're being judged, and I'll probably even fuck with you then.
See, that's why the questions are important.
I have a
'cause we can
question.
sit here and explain logic all day, but it's really the question.
If anybody has
I
a
have a
question
question.
for this, you need to hush because there's no reason for questions. This is amazing.
Well, I have a question. I just wanted to.
Let's hear Leo's
well, it's
question.
not
Let's
about-
hear his
it's-
question.
It was so, Amy. I was wondering if I could share my screen for like 10 seconds.
Sure.
There's no
This is gonna
reason
be-
to have
Please.
questions for this. Just listen.
What the hell is
I
going
guess
on?
you guys are better trolls than me then.
Much better,
No,
yeah,
you're-
way better.
You're pretty damn good. I'm gonna give you a $5 tip for that one, man. I appreciate it.
You've got real evidence on your hands. You've witnessed it, and when you suddenly appear.
Yeah, I suddenly
Just
appeared.
remember this here.
You accepted Monopoly money?
Man, I would pay $35 for this kind of comedy again. Thanks, Amy.
You can donate it to her Patreon.
300
Yeah.
miles.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Ladies and
Gilbert
gentlemen,
Gottfried.
If you would like, what was that?
With-
Hans?
Gilbert
I was
Gottfried.
gonna say, I'm already a Patreon, but I'm telling you, when the super chats light up, some shit like this, I'm gonna be super
Oh,
chatting the
I
shit out of it.
guarantee it. Yep.
Hey guys, really quickly, I just wanted to
Make
say,
it
all right,
rain on us.
for everybody that's out there in the comment section, all right, are you listening? I hope you are. If you're not a Patreon or a patron for Amy, you should be. Okay, This is a really cool channel, and you should be giving you. This is a channel that you should be throwing your money at. Like, don't buy that cocaine. Donate to the channel. You don't need to do drugs. All right, guys. So let's make Amy super rich.
Do both.
Preach it, Leo. Preach it, Leo.
Both is good.
Woohoo! Oh.
Both is better. Yes, I agree.
All right, break bread, Leo. Break bread.
So somebody mentioned Gilbert Gottfried. I gotta know what that's all about.
Yeah, we had our channel an ad.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck.
I was gonna say,
How did
did
that
you guys
happen?
like
What?
that?
Did you like it, Bible Burner?
I will
loved it.
break.
I
It's a
loved
website
it. I
you
love
pay.
Gilbert Gottfried.
I will say I'm gonna give out. This will be the one thing you'll never hear these words out of my mouth again. But thank you, Smokey Saint. I went on Smokey's channel because I'm just a lurker of different types of theists. I consider it opposition research. And I saw that Gilbert was on his stream, and the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "This isn't real."
Who was on his stream?
This isn't. It was Gilbert, and it said, "Wilk." It was like the raging atheist is a
He's just fucking
dumb
with the
head,
rage.
and Will Kincaid and Smokey Saint are awesome.
Yeah,
And
He's using it for the dumbest reasons.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Control the
one shot petty
raging
call
atheist.
outs, and I'm like,
he was
this
like
is
that.
this is a waste. Like
He was
you
like
could do
that.
something way better.
He was like that Nakasaki guy.
And
That
the
sounds like
Christians were
something you
going
order
off.
at a gay fusion restaurant.
And so,
Naka sushi.
like all
Listen, we gays love our fusion.
So
It's just
I was like, what the hell? There's no way that Smokey Saint knows Gilbert. I did some and one of the comment sections was like just what Amaretto said was like, good job, Smokey. Another bunch of good old Christian money right to the homeless or something like that in his channel. And I'm like, okay, gotta look this up. And so there's a service called Cameo. Heyo, shout out to Cameo that allows you to hire different people. Now they do a business Cameo.
Right.
That's just like you can fuck with people, but for a little bit more of that Monopoly money, that sweet old Monopoly money, you can actually get a business Cameo. And
Yeah,
so I
not
wrote a
just a personal.
script, and
it's amazing, guys. Like who they had. You can have Fran Drescher, Vanilla Ice, Wayne Knight's on the front page right now.
You can
Lamar
have me.
Jackson,
have
Shangela.
Can you get
Bob
Amaretto?
Saget for $1,000.
I have a
Do
question.
you have a cameo Amaretto yet?
I have so many questions, Oz, but on this topic, probably we should stick to that. But yes, Oz.
Who the fuck is Vanilla Ice?
Are you serious?
Ice Baby.
You are gonna burn in hell for sure.
Are you guys kidding me? Are you kidding me right
Come
now?
on, man.
No, I'm I'm
He
around.
lives
Like,
close to me.
I'm a hip hop head. I was fucking around.
Okay. I can't listen. I have only been around you like a handful of times. Like so, it's
People were
I'm still
Googling hair
learning.
gel.
I'll be honest. Like
I'm a rapper.
What?
I wouldn't have.
You
pegged
are a
I
rapper,
wouldn't have
Atheist
pegged you for
Junior.
a hip hop head.
Oh, my TikTok.
Your
is,
Atheist
like,
Junior
almost-
is an amazing rap. The Ken Hovind rap. I love that one. The Young Hovind
TikTok
one is
is-
wonderful.
My TikTok is almost nothing but freestyles.
Oh snap! I need to do TikTok more. I gotta be like those youngins and do the TikToks.
Nah.
Literally, I was talking with Jenny T the other day. Like a couple
Jenny
weeks
T
ago,
in the
actually.
house.
And she was like, "Yeah, I can teach you how to do TikTok." And I'm like, "You're like 37. How do I not know how to do this? I feel shame."
I felt a
don't-
boomer when I went on Discord the first time. I'm still trying to shut up.
Oh, and Amy, TikTok is a great resource for potential guests. I'll just throw
Is
it out
it?
there.
Yeah, it seems like it's a great way to just get people connected and stuff. It seems like I was seeing so many people on Tart who were like, "Oh yeah, I came from the TikTok," and I was like, "Oh, I need to start TikToking."
Yeah, our whole channel, other than Nate, I've known Nate for about 20 years personally, but
Okay.
everybody else on our channel, we all met via TikTok, and we have
Pasta Mike.
we have, yep, Pasta Mike and I were the first to meet on TikTok out of the group, and we all met there, and I would say if I were to take a guess without going through it, close to half of our guests have been from building relationships on TikTok.
I did want to say really quickly, I don't have a TikTok, but I have a thick cock, and I'm going to let that marinate with everybody.
Oh,
man.
I mean, mine's still
Hey-o.
Got to be a rap battle in here.
You almost said it, but thankfully you pulled back at the end there.
That's what she said.
SJW.
Sure. Use boomer as an insult.
Oh man.
What's Rumpy?
How Gen X of you? Or I'm sorry, no, it's Gen Z, right? Is that what the younger kids are called? I can't even remember.
They are.
Gen Z, yeah. Zoomers.
See, that's how you know you're getting older. You just made that statement, see?
Man, listen, just because I kind of grew up isolated doesn't mean I'm not cool, okay?
Are they small hands?
How
If they're
you
small,
cool kids
something
doing?
else must be small.
And tell Titan your anus to go to hell for me.
We're all
Titan, go to hell.
DeFreak, I have a question. Why wouldn't you accept questions for me? I was wanting you to tell everybody what's going on. Is he still in here?
Yeah.
He's recharging his battery.
He just said I
I'm
would
still
accept
here.
questions from Oz, Emerald, and Amy. I mean, what, you can't answer questions for me?
No, I said I would answer questions from you.
Oh, for me, you will?
Sure, I would.
Awesome, man. I'm glad to know I'm on your side. Appreciate it.
You're on Team Freak.
I'm on Team Freak for sure. I want to know the truth.
I have.
He wants to
In
get
the
his
sheets
freak on.
Glory, Lord.
Good deal.
Yeah. So
what else you got for us,
anything
Freak?
you want to ask, I will. I mean, you all are lucky that I'm the dumbest. I'm dumb enough to ask him for anything. That's how dumb I am.
I have a question. What is the
We're very lucky.
main reason for why you are a Christian theist?
Don't
I
you
have the
remember
same
the
question.
story?
Why do you identify as a Christian?
I thought he was Muslim. Didn't someone say he was Muslim?
A born again Muslim
Because
flat earther, yes.
Okay.
The God that I saw was the God of Israel.
Wouldn't that
Convenient.
Wouldn't
And
that be
Islam.
Judaism?
Well, so what he's doing is he's blending Christianity, Muslim, and Judaism. That's
smart.
I mean,
So he
they
control
are
all three.
generally connected. They're called the Abrahamic faiths, and that's because
Yeah,
they all
Abrahamic.
believe in the God of
Correct.
Abraham.
That's
and I
right.
always use this argument against Christians, and I even cite like Christian scholars when they say, "Oh no, Islam and Christianity aren't related." Yeah, buddy, they are. Just please go talk to a Harvard theologian like I did and learn
Right,
something for once.
That makes them uncomfortable.
which if you have a decent understanding of the theologies or the doctrines, you can't share all three because they all at some point like violently oppose each other.
Oh,
Wrong.
for sure.
Wrong.
Their doctrines are, I would argue, fundamentally dissimilar from one another. But I would still make the point that they
Muslims think
do
Jesus-
worship the same God. They
think
just
Jesus
disagree
wasn't
about
a
how
prophet.
to worship that God.
Exactly. That's why it's
Yeah,
wrong.
they teach us like at least when I was in middle school, we learned about that in social studies and like what each faith called God, and just we compared and contrasted them, and there is a lot that can be tied together between the three. I would say obviously Judaism and Christianity are a little bit closer. However, you can still make ties to Islam as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the thing is, when you look,
A dog, a coyote, and a wolf, which is not similar.
yeah, that's a pretty good
if
analogy.
it looks like a duck, it talks like a duck.
Islam
Is it
was
a duck?
hijacked politically immediately after Muhammad died, and that's what happened.
Yes. Tell him.
Oh, can I say my quote? I love it. I say it every time. This is my Joe Rogan quote. People, I say it in my sleep. You want to know the difference between a cult and a religion?
Mhm.
In a cult, the leader knows it's full of shit. In a religion, that guy's dead.
Dead. That's right.
Good old Joe Rogan.
Hey, what do you guys think about that Scientology thing? You know, the Tom Cruise, you ever watch that movie on YouTube with the Scientology guy?
What do you think of it?
Too?
What do you think of it?
I think it's out there, man. I really think it's.
Okay.
Well,
I think that's more cultish than Christianity, you know. But
yeah, for sure.
I think that's as out there as somebody trying to claim Christianity, Muslim, and Judaism at the same time.
Yep. What do you, the freak?
I don't see how. I mean,
Mormon.
Ishmael was Abraham's son. He was promises were made to Hagar and to Ishmael.
Yep.
Okay.
That really sounded like Game of Thrones. I know that's the Bible. I just want to point that out.
So what follows after that?
He was what does it say? He'll be a wild man, and all hands will be against him, and blah 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 blah. I think that we're close to uniting all the children of Abraham. Abraham soon, hopefully.
Hold on, pause, because you said we could ask you questions. So you made a point, and then went your little response was blah 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 blah. So what follows after that?
That's biblical.
What follows after that is I'm trying to recall the verse in the Bible that says that he's going to be a wild man, and all hands will be against him, and he'll be against all hands, and blah blah blah, and he'll be a prince of 12 nations. But I can't remember exactly where it's at. I'm not a memory verse guy because I came into this whole thing kind of late in my life.
Appreciate it. I'm glad you did.
Okay, so then what I want to know then is how are you tying the three together, because the three do oppose each other, and if you don't realize that, then I would and this is not me being an asshole at all.
It's a good question. Muhammad was a born again Christian.
I think I know the verse you're talking about. I think it's Genesis 16.
Muhammad
whoa,
would not have been Christian at all.
Listen to what he just said. Listen to what he says. Muhammad is a born again Christian. So that's right. An assertion. So how do you substantiate that claim?
That's a good question.
Revelation 22:18, I think. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah, but that's the Bible, not the Quran. If we're talking about the Prophet Muhammad, I would presume first, that we would utilize the doctrine of Islam.
I'll show you how and why. Logically, I'll show you how and why.
Go for it, freak. Tell him.
Prophet Muhammad did not believe that Jesus was God incarnate. He did not believe that Jesus was here to fulfill some sort of prophecy. He did not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. He did not, though he believed in Jesus' existence, he believed that Jesus died on the cross. He didn't believe that Jesus did this to absolve us of our sins, which is probably the most fundamental tenet to Christianity. Yeah. I don't think I would consider somebody who does not hold to the most central tenet of Christianity a Christian. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I think I would venture to say that most academic theologians would be
is how I could whatever about Islam, but you actually nullified your question with the question.
Yep. Begging the question.
And also, the angel Gabriel has a fundamentally different story in the Quran and his life with Muhammad than his interactions in the Bible. So
the Quran is about 90 to 95% accurate. It's been tampered with, in my opinion.
Okay,
most certainly, or it's been interpreted wrong.
So
it's a good guess.
Defreak. There's another so we have two very, very bold assertions in a row. So
yeah, I'm not afraid of doing that.
Obviously,
good for you.
Obviously, so first thing you need to do is demonstrate that Muhammad is a born again Christian, according to what the Bible says, because now you have to line it with that. And then when we go into the Quran, what was the last point he just made? Because it blew my mind.
Oh God, what was it? Holy shit!
The Quran it was 90% accurate.
Yeah.
The Quran is 90 or 90, whatever you said. I'll say 90% accurate. I need you to be able to demonstrate that the Quran is 90% accurate. I need you to demonstrate that.
Okay, well, we'll get there. But also, if it's not inaccurate, I'm saying that it was also written down or it was interpreted wrong. And I'll explain all that. And just, basically.
So I don't think that you will. I don't think
from God. When you receive from God, his thoughts are coming into your mind so fast.
That's right.
That sometimes you'll be battling stuff out. So it'll be like ADHD, prophecy.
It's funny. I have ADHD.
When you have 10 dudes with a
psych ward prophecy.
Notebook, When you have 10 dudes with a notebook trying to write all that down,
God damn it, Bird.
some of it got lost. Some of it got, whatever. Y'all are the ones that always say scripture is a little fucked up, right? Well, I'm agreeing with you. Sometimes man is corrupted. Man sucks, whatever. But that's what happens in the translation from the prophet, from God to the prophet to the scribes, and then to throughout, child to Peter.
DeFreak, can I ask you a question? What I feel like I'm hearing right now is to try to if you are truly not trolling, all right. So I'm gonna give you a moment because I think you are, but I'm gonna give you a moment and give you the
he's not trolling.
All right,
he's not.
So I'm saying I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. What I'm hearing right now is in order to even attempt to justify a God belief or a God claim in your mind, you're having to take the Quran and the Bible and then take Christianity, Judaism, and Islam and mix them together and blend it to try to make sense of it.
Well, to tell you that it was politically hijacked and it's been corrupted since Muhammad died.
Do you have any evidence for that?
That was my point.
Yes. Then you need evidence for that. Yeah.
Do I need? No, I know that. I'm certain of that.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Yeah. Well, because the Quran, there's no way you could read the Quran and not realize that it's the same spirit that is that he's receiving from.
That's right.
Actually, I don't know if you got the link for the Psalms 136.
Not in the chat.
Don't open this dude's links. He's wasting our time.
I will, and I know Peter, I think, wants to jump on. I think something must have. I think you said something. We'll say
that's
so
I'm
much in disagreement with. I think what we like to agree with. Peter was
freak,
like, "Okay,
man. I'm the freak.
Gotta take the gloves off." That's okay. We love it. I love everybody. All right, we are midnight ranting on Age of the Earth. Peter, how are you, and what are your thoughts about the debate, the topic, or anything we've been talking about tonight?
The only thing I was aware of that you were talking about was about me, because I'm unlike the God of the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah. I am omniscient. If someone mentions me, talks about me, I will know, and I will be in the side chat. So, Leo and Amy, both thank you for the kind words about half an hour ago. I'm always there, even if you think I'm not. I'm always there.
Dun, dun, dun.
The only God, and it says in the book of Klompen, which is in Holland,
great book,
that there's only one God, which is Peter. And Robert X in the side chat will confirm that.
I can as well.
I just jumped in. I noticed the freak is here. In the words of the great Arnrod the Freak, have you been sipping the reason too much again? Just curious.
Well, thank you so very much.
And by the way, Leo, it is Peter.
Peter.
Yeah. It's what I'm saying. Peter.
Yes.
Every breath.
Dude, your Americans look smart.
Can I also provide a beautiful quote from Aaron Ra that I would like to direct at the freak?
I am the freak, dude. Don't fuck with the freak, all right? I will jam you out every time.
Trust me.
Every move you make.
We're just getting to know each other. That's all.
Are you good? Okay. If you can't show it, you don't know it.
I posted my links. Has anyone looked yet?
Yeah, you posted a link to Bible Gateway.
Also,
that's not substantive academic literature.
I need to make a quote from the famous Arn Ra because he's here.
Boy.
Atheist Junior. Thank you for saying "fuck you, Arn Nelson." He loved that.
That makes me happy.
You're talking about the dude in Texas.
I showed Aaron Atheist Junior's Young Hovind rap, which ends with
punch Aaron in the
Aaron
Dude,
Nelson.
it's crazy that I fucking blew out your whole worldview in like 2 20 minutes, isn't it?
Bruh.
Absolutely.
You did nothing to dispel naturalism. So no, you have.
Who blew out a worldview?
Well, I would walk 500 miles.
The freak. Honest question. I still need to know.
500 more.
Do me like Jesus.
Come on, man.
The freak. The freak. One question. One question.
That was foreplay at best. That wasn't the main course.
No.
I'm still curious, the freak. What are you? Are you Christian? Are you Muslim? What are you?
Oz, you have to stop. You have to stop, dude. I can't. God damn it, you have to stop, dude.
He can't stop.
I thought Peter and I were having a nice interaction until the freak interrupted.
Dude, any interaction with Peter is probably going to be lame.
I
Just so you know.
Why? That is the most unbased take I've ever
Peter
heard.
can sit with us. He's cool.
You-
They can sit with us.
The freak. The reason Arnold let you back on the panel isn't me.
You made a fool of yourself, and it was all just to get my attention for what?
Tell him,
just
freak,
listen
tell
for
him.
once.
Bird dog him, the freak. Bird
Is it
dog
even
him.
possible? Is it even possible to get your attention? I'm just curious.
I did want to
That's
ask
attention now.
I did want to ask everybody on the panel. Say "I" if you have been based and Peter pilled. I.
Oh snap! I think I've been based and Peter pilled.
I'll say I.
Absolutely.
Now, the freak. Honestly,
I don't
tell
know
me
what that
what
means.
What are you? Are you a
don't-
Christian? Are you a Muslim? Because you came
I
on
would say-
Ross
I would say
stream
I'm a born again Christian. That's what I would
There you
say.
go.
You know.
and you came. Just for clarification, you came on Ross stream defending Allah and
Yes.
the Quran.
Well,
Allah.
hold on,
Muslim
really
family.
quickly, because we need some clarification here. The word Allah is just the word God in Arabic. From
right.
Arabic to English, Allah translates as God.
Fake
So Allah is not
It's him.
like a
It's the
separate
same
God,
God.
like
the God of
Thor or
Abraham.
Zeus. It just is God, and
That's right.
You are
what
fake
is it?
news.
Dios or Deus is God in Spanish. Allah is God in
It's like
in
when
Arabic.
people say Sharia law, but Sharia just means
Who's
law.
the smart
so it's
man
like
that's
they're saying
talking
law
that I
twice.
can't see on the screen?
That's what I've been saying. He's mixing. It's a mixing pot of the three. That way,
It's not a
no matter
fence,
what's
it's a wall.
no matter what's brought up, there's a defense for it.
He's a born again
That's a
troll.
good point. That's actually a pretty damn good point. I'm not gonna lie.
Blowing you out, so there's something
Right.
to it, I guess.
Wait, hold on. You said you blew me out. What is your largest objection against naturalism as a philosophical worldview? Because that's my worldview, and
I just
thus
think
far
that's
you
hot.
have not blown it out.
Nothing. I just
I'm
know.
liking
I just
his
know where
aggression.
everything ends up. I just know who the highest authority is. I just know I just know which reality is the forever lasting reality that lasts forever. That's all.
Can't show it. You don't know
What's
it.
so funny? when I actually threw my laptop and spilled some
Bible tells
lemonade.
us.
I almost
The
forget
Bible
what the
tells
exact
us.
thing you said was, and then.
What did you expect? The Bible verse?
Hallelujah.
You know. All right. Let's just read Revelation 19:10, please.
Give me a second here.
This guy's
tells
voice
us.
is killing me. His voice is just killing me. I can't handle it.
I shit you not.
Are you
I'm fucking
expecting a
crying.
Bible?
I am unbearable. Who can bear this? Seriously, I know I'm a troll.
Oz,
It's
put the
okay.
Bible down. Put the Bible
Guys,
down.
guys,
Put the
it's
Bible
everywhere.
away.
It's all over the place. Guys, oh no, it's running under the dresser. Oh no. Oh, this is bad, guys.
This is
It's
the spirit
getting
of Peter that
it's
was
running.
cast on you right now. Just so you know.
I'm gonna
I just want
have
to make you
ants
aware of that. I
today.
expose that
Oh,
spirit
is
in the name of the Lord.
Is it
It's
running?
getting on
the
my
freak-
carpet.
The freak.
Good thing I got hardwood floors.
The freak could
Even
self-identify.
the smart dude is stupid now. You see that? I expose
You
these
can
things. I know the realm of the spirit.
You can identify as a troll, but you
Is your heart in the
also
cards?
identify as a Christian, right? You are.
I love you.
Well, we've upgraded our marketing scheme.
Okay,
I have the heart
gotcha. Damn
of
it,
the
you
cards.
are one of us. Okay, good.
I have the heart of the cards.
Hey,
It was just that.
There was some
Every
good,
once in a while.
valid
Is it time to
intellectual
duel?
discussions, but I don't know
Oh,
if you want to know
anytime.
that stuff anymore.
you're a
so
buffoon.
if you want me to leave, I'll leave.
Listen,
whatever.
you're a buffoon. Listen, you're a buffoon.
Sir, you're over talking me, sir. Please don't over talk me. It's very rude.
I'm done. I can't handle it.
You're under talking me.
That was so Karen-esque, Leo.
I had an interaction with Darth a couple weeks ago. It was. I enjoyed it. I had fun with that one.
Leo,
Amy
I love that because I think it was about 2 days before I saw that post of yours. I was on a chat that he came in on, and he rage quit on me on like, I think it was like 4 minutes.
Okay, as a matter of fact,
Wow.
we're actually showing you
made it 4 minutes.
See what happens.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Forever. I'm telling you.
You know what? Overtalk me
But
again,
he trolling you
asshole,
like
and
this is
see
more
what
love than
happens.
you've ever received in your whole life.
Oz is waiting for. He wants Dak back. Oz is like, can we have Dak back?
I wanted to
I'm
talk.
telling you how to live
Where's Dak
forever.
Ben? Amy, where's Dak Ben at? Or Doc?
He's
I should
been
say.
I haven't
taking a
seen
break.
Hunter hair of him.
He did contact me on Twitter and was like, everything's doing
What's
good.
more
And
important than
so
that? Tell me what's more important
Leo.
than that.
Leo,
I swear he came back in chat, but then
Somebody
I was
said
like,
my
okay,
name.
for president.
No, that was a
2024.
troll.
I was like, yeah. Then I was like,
Okay, fuck off, Mr. 30-year-old. You're done.
James,
DeFreak, there's nothing more important than that. So
That's
make your
Peter,
point.
not me.
Okay, Revelation 19:10.
Yes, go for it. Please.
Okay, fuck off, Mr.
And I fell at
30-year-old.
his
You're
feet to
done.
worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren.
Okay, you know what?
That
Overtalk
thou-
me again,
that as
asshole,
the
and
story
see
of
what
Jesus,
happens.
what is happening right now?
Worship
I
God.
think
For the,
DeFreak is
Darth
okay, this
showed
is
up.
the important part of the verse. For the testimony of Jesus
Darth,
is
are you
the
in a
spirit
cave?
of prophecy.
Yeah.
Listen, you're a buffoon.
Nice dumbboard, Peter. Peter, like Stroke. Peter Stroke, yeah. Counterintelligence number 2, the FBI. This guy is the same thing. You couldn't even commit adultery right.
That's right.
What? I forgot it wasn't a
Adultery
soundboard.
right, this guy.
Are you
I
in an
forgot it
underground
wasn't a
cavern?
soundboard.
So Leo, as soon as it's all, okay, the fireworks are over. Leo, I definitely scared you.
So you understand the verse there now. The spirit
What
of
a beautiful baby. I love that.
Okay, fuck off, Mr. 30-year-old. You're
Once
done.
Jesus was glorified,
Okay, you know what? Overtalk me
the
again,
only way to
asshole, and
receive
see what
the
happens.
prophecy from God.
Listen,
is
you're a
through Jesus Christ.
buffoon.
The freak did that to overtalk Oz.
That's why Muhammad was a born-again Christian. There's no other way to receive.
Listen, you're a buffoon.
I came back on
Yeah, it
that.
makes no
Okay.
sense whatsoever. It's only in the scripture.
That's right, buddy. You tell
You're
him.
probably have to mute, Amy.
That's we're gonna be getting done soon. But Jonathan, I see you backstage. We have been
Maybe I'll learn as
midnight
smart as we thought,
ranting
maybe.
of the
Wait,
age
Jonathan,
of the earth. I like to think of us as we're just helpful clowns of science. Honk, honk, honk. Here we go.
You can rotate me to the back.
Oh,
Amy,
there's
if-
10. I got you. Thank you so very much.
Why are you
James. I'm
acting
gonna
like a
put-
snot-nosed 16-year-old?
I want Darth. I honestly
Fair
want
question.
to talk with Darth.
Fair question.
because he's going through puberty.
So, Jonathan, we have been midnight
Yo.
ranting
Yo.
on the age of the earth.
Big J in the house.
How's it going,
How
comrade?
are you? And you're gonna.
Is my
You
microphone
probably got
working?
something to say.
Yes, it is.
Your microphone is working, and it's going to be kind of an
Who's
intro
gonna do
outro.
that?
You're going to be given an intro,
Okay.
and then a few minutes we start outros. But how
All
are
right.
you, John? And what are your thoughts about the subject, or anything we talked about?
Well, there's about the flat Earth. Not flat Earth. God, I actually, first off, I did like the fact that he actually said, that Kent Hovind said, like, flat Earth. What do you mean? The Earth is round. It's like, oh wow, finally, someone who's so weirdly off in the young Earth, whatever. He's like, flat Earth. What the heck is this? But anyways, the thing I feel is that there are organisms that are testably, verifiably older than the Earth. You know, there's these trees on the tops of mountains that are 9,000 years old by the rings of their trees and whatnot. And also, I also kind of wanted to get in there. I was like, what the heck was all this going on with the religion? I was like, what are you guys? You guys all talking all over? It's like confusing. But I liked it. I wanted to kind of jump in and see if I could like get in the middle of that.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the same. Remember the other Maddie discussion, other Maddie debate, the one with the what's his name, Nathan. Oh God, I figured I had to get at least my 2 cents in somehow on this one as well because Maddie, I think she again, performed awesomely. She performed perfectly. She didn't let him like railroad the conversation into the weeds. He was like, this is this, and it's like, she didn't let it. She kept it on track. She Gary, I agree with what you guys said. Great science communicator. She knows how to keep her cool. She knows not to get them. She knows how to not let herself get riled up. She knows exactly what to say and communicate it. And if she doesn't know, she says, "To the best of my knowledge, blah. Now let's get back on topic."
Yeah.
But at least this discussion was a lot better than the other one, where freaking Nathan was just pretty much railroading and interrupting and just basically acting like an arse. At least there was a little bit of a modicum. What's that? How you got? Modicum of civility going on.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
No, Steve, this is not the quartering.
I don't know who the heck maybe man should go up against all the big bads of the various conspiracy theories, because she seems to be hitting them right out of the park all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She went
She's
against,
one of the better ones.
Nathan Thompson. She went against Kent Hovind.
Yep.
God,
And
I would
okay,
love that
thank you
baby.
so very much, Jonathan. And I agree. I think Maddie hit it out of the park.
I would love a debate with Nathan Thompson. Oh,
exactly. Oh, Leo, come. Let's do that
You just
2v2.
better make sure
Actually,
you wear some face palm protection. Stuff to prevent even going, "Ow, my forehead! Ow, my forehead!" Because you're going to be doing that if you don't know how to keep yourself calm.
and actually, what I would want to see, I said this to James, and I would give up my position, even for you, Leo. I want a 2v2 where it's an atheist and Kent Hovind versus a flat earther. I want it so badly.
Yeah.
He would have to defend science. It'd be amazing.
that'd be
First
a one.
chance of his life.
That'd be cream worthy for sure.
Yeah.
Woohoo! And okay, guys, I actually think we're going to start our outros. We just got past the 3-hour mark.
This was fun.
But it's been a lot of fun, and let us begin the outroness. So I'm going to be going mostly in the opposite order that people came in, but we're actually going to start off with Atheist Jr. Atheist Jr., we have been midnight ranting on the age of the earth. I hope you had a nice time tonight. And what are your final thoughts?
Wow, this is quite a show, Amy.
That's right.
The age of the earth, I'm going to stick with what the experts say. 4.5 billion years, and I thought the debate was really awesome, as well as your debate against Maddox and Sal.
Well,
I really
you.
enjoyed that.
That was very good.
Watching some of it again today, and Maddox still can't believe how much he was minimizing like stuff like 9/11, and I don't understand how he thinks that that's not, high level enough, But
he's dumb.
he's very smart.
He's not dumb. He's ill-informed.
And I think that's why he stopped. I think he made that claim, and then I pushed him, and I was like, show me where I was like, you're defending Islam. How is that not top-level theism claim? And then he was like, eh.
Right. But yeah, I had a good time as usual, so thank you for having me on again. And yeah, hopefully that debate happens, and to anybody in the chat who hasn't checked out my channel, I would say go do that immediately after the stream ends.
Do it.
And I'm also on Twitter. And yeah, had a great time. So thank you, Amy. Thanks, James, and all the other people who've been on, except for the freak.
Do it.
Oh, thank you
Thanks,
so
Atheist Jr.
very much, Atheist Jr.
Take it easy. Be well. Much love.
Bye.
And okay, Peter, we have been midnight ranting, Peter, on Age of the Earth.
Why are you acting like a snot-nosed 16-year-old?
You just hear it in his voice.
I know.
I hope you had a fun night tonight. And what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts.
Okay, you know what? Overtalk me again, asshole, and see what happens.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Listen, you're a buffoon.
Jesus.
Well, thanks for waking me up. And I'm barely awake. I have no clue. I didn't see the debate though, and
don't need to.
If you do watch it for Maddie, if you do
That's
watch
true,
it for Maddie, because she did.
No, the reason why I'm not letting you finish because you're fast talking. Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as I was saying, I haven't seen the debate, and I really want to see that. Leo, you want to debate Hovind? I'll put you in. I've got 4 people who want to debate him. So I'm still trying to get him on the phone. Every single time I call, he's not available. So, or he might recognize my phone number. That's also possible. We'll see. But I'll try and set it up.
Yeah, I do. Physical cosmology versus biblical cosmology.
Okay, you know what? Overtalk me again, asshole, and see what happens.
Yes. Where the Spirit of the Lord is.
And again,
yeah.
Amy, thanks for having me. It's always a blast.
Absolutely. It's always great to have you on, Peter. And okay, we're moving down the line.
What the heck is the will?
I believe the theist of the night, DeFreak. We have been midnight ranting on the age of the earth. I hope you had a good time as always. And what are your final thoughts?
Well, I'm going to be nice. And I think it's Luke 11, and it says, take my yoke upon me, for my burden is light, my load is heavy, and my burden is light. You really have to dive into knowing who
Why are you
Christ
acting
is.
like a snot-nosed 16-year-old?
If you want to expand your mind, your capacity, you need to know Jesus Christ.
That's right. Accept him in your heart.
Listen, you're a buffoon.
Thank you so very much, DeFreak. And all right. We are moving down Amaretto. Our social justice bard. She's playing a lute. We have been midnight ranting on the age of the earth. I hope you had a nice time. And what are your final thoughts?
Well, I'm going to be watching that debate in a little bit. But, I'm so confused by a lot of the stuff that, like, Hovind and a lot of these, like, theist debaters are putting forward. And maybe it's just me because I'm kind of, like, in a weird spot as far as being a theist, but also being pretty skeptic and, or trying to be pretty skeptic. But, well, this just makes me even more, like, passionate about trying to reform the education system in this country.
Yep.
So since, I mean, and I'm invested in it, like, emotionally. I definitely want to start doing more work with it because I think the
Based smart pilled.
Yeah, it's smart pill to you.
Woohoo! I mean, listen, I will smart pill everybody if I have to.
Yes.
Is that
but just make sure that you basically give them the evidence and try to let them figure it out for themselves. Don't shove it down the throat because the whole sometimes if you push people too much, they'll just entrench themselves.
Yeah. No, precisely. I mean, and listen, I can be kind of the same way. I mean, I'm not a perfect person by any means.
Oh, I'm not saying you aren't, but I don't mean that as an insult.
I'll say
that. She needs to start Dawkins in her life.
It's always good to question. It's always good to basically be quite curious about the world, and that's part of the reason why I'm an atheist. Because a lot of religions, you look at flat Earth and what are round young Earth, they tell you don't question it. This is the way it is, and it's like, wait a minute, what? No. You don't tell me to stop thinking.
Listen, part of the reason why I grew up going to a Methodist Sunday school, but I wasn't I didn't go to church every Sunday with my family. My dad's not really religious at all. My mom kind of is, and her parents were my grandmother was Methodist, and my grandfather was Catholic. So I have parts of my family on my mom's side, where it's Catholicism. I used to go to church with my aunt. So, but coming from not having a lot of religion in the home itself, but also going to Sunday school, I cracked open a Bible that I got from Sunday school. I opened to the story of Lot's daughters and how they basically had sex with their dad. And I closed that Bible up, and it was destroyed in a house fire.
Oh God!
Bible incest.
Good riddance. Incest is not wincest. That no. So
only if it's for
my general
Jesus.
position is I don't think anybody gets it 100% right, but I think that regardless of how you feel, or whether you're a theist, an agnostic, or an atheist, or whatever you believe in spiritually, or you don't lack thereof, I think at the end of the day there needs to be a agreed upon set of facts that we go on. This is the whole thing with the past 4 years with Donald Trump and fake news and different facts, true facts. So I think, and it's alarming to me. Delaware is a very mixed state, politically, but I'm really saddened to hear that there's a lot of people who are apparently not receiving a good education in critical thinking, and how to be what a healthy dose of skepticism is. So that's just kind of my take on it. And I watched some of Hovind the other night, and just
How about every day?
Buy my books.
I'm gonna start playing. I'm gonna start playing classical music to my plants and hope that I have a bountiful harvest.
You will.
But
drink plenty of water. Water your plants.
How many people died last night from the drinking game?
37.
Yeah. Oh my goddess. He said it. Yeah.
Yeah. But my general thing is it's good that we can all talk about this kind of stuff. For sure. And to anybody watching who isn't in the chat, in this StreamYard lobby, I'm Amaretto Kitten on Twitter. I go by Amaretto or Cassandra is my legal name.
What's your at? What's the handle, or is that the handle?
SJW.
It's at Amaretto Kitten.
Okay, you're gonna have a new follower in like 10 seconds.
Okay. Woo-hoo. Looking forward to it.
Okay, fuck off, Mr. 30-year-old. You're done.
Is it all one word or 2 words? Or?
I'll type it. It's this. It's 1 word. That's my Twitter handle.
A bitch, a bro, a non-binary hoe.
Yes.
That is beautiful. That in and of itself deserves a follow. Let's be honest here. Everybody should go follow her.
I can't take credit for it. There's apparently a new skating anime that has come out. Skateboarding anime.
Funny combination of words.
And the voice actor for this one character apparently ad-libbed this line or something like that, and it started making its way around the internet. So I was like, this is perfect for me. I'm like, a bitch, bro, non-binary hoe. Yes. Okay. But yeah, I do a lot of, I am a social justice bard, as you can see. I'm not the warrior, but I'm the bard, sometimes the rogue.
That's too perfect.
But let's go down the list. Trans rights are human rights. We'll go abolish the police.
Yeah, based.
Reform the
I know
system.
not everybody agrees, but based.
Reform the system. Tax the hell out of Jeff Bezos. Support your local progressive candidates and your grassroots candidates.
Seize the means of production. Eviscerate the bourgeois.
Yes. Listen, let me tell you, the more I'm looking at things the past 4 years, the more I'm believing Marx was right.
Yeah.
So also support your local content creators if you agree with what they say and or support their activities. And yeah, so if anybody wants to chit chat with me, I'm always open. Let's have a good conversation. Let's have a good time because, I think if anything, COVID has kind of proved the world is kind of crazy and it's nice to be able to connect with people again.
Kind of crazy.
I'd like to interject.
Why do we need to do that?
And I'll say, SJ. No, I'll say this real quick and I'll be quiet.
Okay, fuck off, Mr. 30-year-old.
You know what, Peter? You and your soundboard. Fuck you. You could fuck off.
Listen, you're a buffoon.
I know. I already know.
God,
no. The reason why I'm not letting you finish because you're fast talking.
Oh, now you sound like the freak earlier.
Okay, you know what? Overtalk me again, asshole, and see what happens.
And actually, Oz, you are a great person to transition to Heyo because you were up next anyway. Oz, we have been midnight ranting on the age of the earth. Somewhere. I hope you had an awesome night. And what are your final thoughts?
Denied. I had a great night. So before I do lose ADHD thought here, SJ, I would actually love to have you a guest on the Atheist Roundtable to talk about the theist beliefs you still hold and examine that in a very professional and fun way that we do it. So if you want to do that, I'd love to do that.
And he pays.
Did somebody think he was funny? Is that what happened?
Oh, snap.
Oh, my bad. I thought, exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Thank you.
Join him for Atheist Pizza.
I got Peter's breaking himself. Like he's gonna lose it.
Somebody got it. Somebody got.
This
a new
guy's
toy.
out of control.
Somebody got a new toy. Somebody got a new toy. Exactly.
Amy.
Not me. One day it will be me. But...
So I'll take a drink. Go ahead, Peter. Hit the button 3 or 4 more times.
Stop, guys! I can only die so many times.
You gotta have the Price is Right fail song done. That's all you gotta have.
Okay, so Saturday we're gonna have Dr. Josh on. We're gonna talk about his new book that's coming out, the Atheist Handbook to the Old Testament, which is gonna be awesome. We're gonna talk about the Lion's Den offer that he threw out. Actually, we threw out on all the social medias, and no theist showed up. 0 theists showed up for that offer. And then we have a big announcement coming up for Tart that evening at the end of the episode. We're making some additions to the Tart crew, and we're doing a little bit of a revamp or a rebranding, so to speak. So it's going to be a big deal on Saturday. So if you have time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to start that at the Atheist Roundtable. If you don't know where we are, who we are, just go to www.tart.live and you can find all that shit right there. But for tonight, make sure you go hit the like, subscribe, and if you're not a patron of Amy's channel, make sure that shit happens tonight. Do it right now.
Thank you so very much, Oz. So much hearts. Autonomically correct hearts. Woohoo! And okay, we're moving down the line. Leo, we have been midnight ranting on the age of the earth because apparently that's controversial or something like that. Okay. I hope you had a good time. And what are your final thoughts?
Can I offer you some water?
What about water?
I don't think he heard any of this.
Oh, that's funny.
Can
was
we
that
offer
the
you some water?
That's okay.
Where the water from the flood go?
From water. Here,
Lunar
watch.
bukkake theory.
I'm gonna do this opposite, and we're gonna pretend like another bird. We have been midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. I hope you had a fun night tonight. And what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, of course I had a fun night. Y'all had me crying, literally. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Amazing. It's amazing. That's all I have to say.
Do you love black people?
Mm-hmm. And Jeebus.
And okay, we're moving right along.
Back to Leo.
We have been midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. It's been a fun SpongeBob-inspired night. I hope you had a good time. And what are your final thoughts?
Oh yeah,
More water.
I definitely had a good time. I mean, we got a good bunch of characters here. We're all weird and goofy in our own unique and entirely, what's sort of looking for, positive ways, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. As it concerns the age of the Earth, I mean, look, the oldest tree is 9,500, almost 9,600 years old. Göbekli Tepe, I might be wrong, but I think that's the oldest human ruins we know of, or at least the oldest civilized ruins, is like 12,000 years old. Not to mention radioactive decay, which don't you ever hear anybody that says, "Oh, well, we don't know if it's constant." Just ask them what data they have that overturns all of electroweak theory, because that's where the constants and the coupling constants that govern how the fields of force that give rise to what we call radioactive decay work. It's one of the most well-defined theories that humans have ever developed for describing anything in physical reality that we observe, and we know that it's constant. We know that radioactive that decay rates are constant. The only exception would be in electron capture, and that would be when you saturate the nucleus of the atom with the electrons. That would result in a marginally higher increased rate of electron capture. But beside the point, we know what the age of the Earth is. If you ever have questions, just go to your closest post-secondary education institution, contact somebody from either the nuclear physics or the geology department and ask them if you're really that skeptical on it. Outside of that, I do actually have a YouTube channel, as surprising as it might sound. If you like science and you like astrophysics, cosmology, and quantum mechanics, or even if you've just been a little bit interested in those subjects and would like to learn a little bit more about them, feel free to check out my videos. And if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button. I think I'm like 15 away from 400, which is a milestone that's 100 under a very important milestone. So yeah, that's I focus on science education and science communication, mainly on topics in theoretical physics, but I do a little bit of politics from a obviously left-wing standpoint, being a libertarian socialist. So whether you agree or disagree, you should check out my channel and either learn something new that you've wanted to learn or keep yourself out of an echo chamber.
Fake news.
Also, subscribe to Amy Newman. I don't know why you haven't.
So certain facts are related to each other or connected in some way.
Yep, that is very true, Darth. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Leo.
Or if you want to learn some messed up things, go to Otangelo's channel for
very
some
true.
different
Already,
version
guys.
of physics.
I'm out of here. I got to get the call with a buddy of mine.
Bye, Leo.
Much love,
It's a
everybody.
pleasure as always having you on.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, Amy. You guys be well.
Bye,
And
Leo.
okay, just a few left. Bible burner. We have been midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. Apparently, that's a new thing that people are learning.
It is.
I hope you had a good time. And what are your final thoughts?
I had a great time tonight. It was great talking with all you guys. Amy, thanks for having me on. I did get a little heated at one point with the freak, but I hope I do apologize. I hope I wasn't out of line at any point. I do get passionate at times. the age of the Earth, it's 4.5 billion years, guys. I know it might not, if you're listening and it goes against your holy book, sorry, but that's just kind of the way it goes. About 100 years ago, they figured it out. Scientists did all the legwork, and they figured it out, man. It's 4.5 billion years. What's even more important than that, I think, is that kangaroos are not to be trifled with.
Kangaroo song.
Kangaroos can scrap. They're salty. They're quick, and
They can
they'll
only
kick your
hop.
ass.
They hop. That's it.
I did put a few videos together. I do have a channel, a YouTube channel. Terribly, poorly produced videos. Some may or may not be cringeworthy. If you guys happen to stumble across it, give me any input whatsoever. It would be really, really appreciated. It would mean a lot to me to have you guys give me any critique whatsoever, whether it's, dude, this fucking sucks. Don't ever fucking do this ever again. I would appreciate it, really.
Hey, I got a question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
Are you a woodworker or a metal worker? I see your tools back there.
Mainly wood.
Nice. Me too, brother.
Yes,
Me too.
Yeah, I got quite a few tools here. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Bible Burner, for being
you.
with us. And so,
Well, no,
with
I'm just going to say,
more-
Bible, I think you are fine in that exchange. That was nothing to worry about. On
Yeah, no, I think you were doing good.
he was fine.
Especially with when we're hearing, we'll say, untraditional views. Though, what is a traditional theist view? I know each theist is like, mine is the traditional view, and it's like, okay, calm down.
I mean, he's a little out there. I mean, not quite as much as Amaretto, but we'll get them all there. We'll bring them all across the finish line.
We'll get them on our side.
Okay, and we're moving along. Jonathan, we have been midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. I hope you had a fun time, and what are your final thoughts about the subject or anything we're going to talk about tonight?
Well, about the subject, basically, if you don't understand these things, do your research. I hate to sound like a flat earther, do your research, but actually do research. And about some of the things that was it social justice, so whatever, the lady in the orange hoodie, just as a positive thing for COVID thing, I was watching the David Pakman show, and he said within like the next couple of weeks, I think it was Massachusetts will be pretty much within reach of being having herd immunity. So that's a woohoo for that. We're making progress on that. And about you talk the one Leo, I think, was talking about the radiological stuff and the isotopes and stuff. Fun fact that from my wiki wanders and looking around on the web, that if you have certain types of steel that were made before a certain age versus after a certain age, they're actually slightly radioactive or slightly different, because the old steel basically was before we did the atoll bomb drops in the 50s, I think it was, where we tested in the atoll like the whatever atoll, Bikini Atoll or whatever it was, where we dropped the bombs and blew them up. That threw all that radioactive stuff into the atmosphere. So what happens is when we made steel after that point, it sucked in that slightly radioactive oxygen, so all that steel actually slightly more radioactive than steel made before that point. That's one of those. It's just a little factoid that I kind of picked up and learned on my kind of wandering around the web and learning and absorbing information here and there. But basically, the thing I just gotta say is, don't let anyone ever tell you don't think, don't look up, don't research, don't ask questions. That should be almost a key point to say, wait a minute, okay, back up. That's when I should ask questions. Because if they're trying to tell you not to look at it, then they're either basically trying to divert you away from something, or that they don't know and they don't want you to know that they don't know, or that you don't. They want you to not know that they don't know.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Yes, basically, don't pay attention that I'm not educated. Also, if you don't know, don't make up stuff. admit that you're wrong. That's the most intellectually honest thing you can do. I can say, "Oh yeah, flying unicorn is up my butt," blah 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 blah, or you can say,
"Hi,
I just don't know." I can just
you
say,
want to make
"I
a
don't
video
know."
about
And
that? I'm sure it will be on Einstein's
just be
channel.
intellectually honest. Just be intellectually honest and admit that you don't know if you don't know, and look up things and research things if you don't know and you want to know.
Okay,
That's
thank
about
you
all
so
can
very
really do.
much, Jonathan, and I agree. Just
So,
got to be
praise
honest,
God.
right? Look on.
Right, praise God.
And okay, James,
All for
take
his
us
glory.
home. We've been midnight ranting on the age of the Earth. I think we all had a fun time tonight. And what are your final thoughts?
I think we had a good time. Yeah. So this debate was supposed to be yesterday. Instead, it got canceled. We had a fun stream about Kent Hovind last night. So we were back today, 2 days in a row of Kent Hovind. I don't know about you guys. I can't get enough Hovind. I mean, me and Aim, we could probably do Hovind 7 days a week for a month, and it still wouldn't be enough. But we probably will do another stream about something else next time. But don't worry about it. We'll go back to Hovind at some point because he's the gift that keeps on giving because he never learns anything. You could try to teach him the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
He's still going to repeat the same crap over and over again. And we're still going to be right there every time to tell him, no, you're still wrong. The Earth, it's still 4.5 billion years old. You still don't have any science to back up your Bronze Age book there, but we're going to have fun telling you it's wrong. So thanks, guys, for coming on. It was a great stream, great conversation. And yeah, I have a debate coming up next Wednesday on Modern Day Debate.
Oh, snap.
Apparently there are 2 suns in the solar system. I don't know. We'll find out.
There are.
Apparently there are now. And I guess Big Screen Bird is part of the NASA team that hides it.
That's right. No.
There you go.
They're there. I'm not a part of it.
Maybe that's the mysterious ninth planet that they're always talking about. That basically,
It's
maybe
another
that's the reason why
sun,
we
yeah.
can't find the ninth planet.
That's right.
And okay.
It's being hidden.
Thank you so very much, James. And with that, I hope you all had a fun time on this night's Midnight Ranting, Age of the Earth, where we spoke about how the formation of the Earth, as well as had a discussion about a debate between a scientist and SpongeBob's arch nemesis. I want to thank James W. with our guest host, Flum, Atheist Jr., Soldier of Science, Bird, The Fifth Trumpet, Mark Reed, Bible Burner, Leo Filius, Oz, Amaretto, Da Freak, Peter.
You're not a
and
nice person.
Jonathan. Along with all the lovely people in chat who make this stream so much fun.
Then
and
there's
our
something
mods
wrong
who
with you.
keep-
You're certainly not very good.
Keep everything awesome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that all button icon so you can be part of our live streams on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Even
And
Facebook.
Or Twitch or YouTube. We can have it all, baby. Or come join us at our Discord for some memming action, as you learned from Gilbert. Finally, if you'd like to have some more awesome content, well, feel free to support the channel by checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I'm Amy Newman, and I'll see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z.
Woohoo! Good night, guys. Good night, Peter. Good night.